Hello, gearheads, and welcome to the Blind Mike Project. And if you're new here, you're now a gearhead. Welcome aboard. Go to blindmike.net for all of Mike's links to shows like Why Are You Laughing? And also click on the Patreon link and register to get shows like Quincy and stand-up comedy breakdowns. On today's show, a series of segments that will make you laugh until you cry. Too many to list. So without further ado, here's your host, the man with a sixth sense for humor, Blind Mike Geary.
That was amazing.
A little peek behind me. You may not understand why I'm laughing at that.
That was the first time I heard it.
They made the team at HACKRIDE Studios made us an intro that's evergreen in case there's a week they couldn't get to it or whatever. which I've always said they should do. Not necessary that they have to. You know, I know they spend I believe 40 hours a week on those intros. So I said, if you ever need a week off, feel free. But I you know, they couldn't get to it this week, so I knew this was a generic intro. I had not heard it yet. It's just very funny to me to go, oh, too many to list. This guy, I mean, you want to hear a guy with topics. It's this Blind Mike fella. Too many. Don't bother listing them. There's too many.
They're going to make you laugh till you cry.
That's very funny. I don't know why that got me, but it's funny. Well, hello, folks. It's a Craig week.
Sorry.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Oh, the Craigophiles will rejoice. This is the Blind Mike Project, which you are watching live on YouTube. But we are also Spotify people now.
That's right.
So I believe, unless Craig's about to disappoint me, this will be the first episode where the video is available on Spotify.
Well, as of this second, we can only upload clips. I think we might have to be there for a couple weeks before we're allowed to just upload like that.
Oh, they don't let you?
Yes.
Oh.
There's another show I do that I can upload the video, so I know how to do it before that's questioned.
Well, that's
good. But I think it might be because we're too new.
Okay. Too new.
They might not just let us do it yet. They might have to wait a couple weeks.
What the hell?
I know.
Well, guys, go to Spotify. Leave a comment, leave a 5-star review, and tell them this is a Spotify-worthy podcast. It's been on Spotify since day one, so I don't really understand the problem. But
hosted is different.
I understand. But also, let me know: do people watch video on Spotify? Do people give a shit?
I think the only podcast I've ever done that for was Rogan, and that was because that was the only place to find.
Well, it was only on Spotify. Yeah. But people, I don't know. I guess people seem to like it because people have asked before. Why don't you guys have the video on Spotify? Maybe they want to see our faces.
I mean,
we are.
I feel like it's easier to use on YouTube.
We did get a comment the other day. Someone goes, "I usually listen, and that is not what I was expecting Craig to look like." I couldn't tell if they were horrified or dazzled, but
I'm a lot more handsome than they thought.
I think that's what they meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Wow. Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah, but if you listen to these, if you're a Spotify user, then support the boys on Spotify. Let this podcast grow, and it's also imperative that we mention we're on Rumble as well.
Yes,
Rumble.
That's right.
I don't know. We have a Rumble channel now. I think we're going to start uploading videos, but I just think I don't think it's anyone's go-to. I think you use Rumble if your favorite creator has been banished by YouTube. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if it's anyone's go-to, but I think you'll be able to get us on Rumble too. So the boys are expanding. We're trying to reach more people. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you guys doing that. It helps more people find the show on any platform, Spotify, YouTube, and all the others. Blindmike.net is the easiest way to find those links, not just for this podcast, but for Why Are You Laughing as well. We just did an episode that I loved. I thought Al Dukes would be a good guest to have on. I didn't expect that many insightful stories.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Particularly hearing how hilariously mean Ron Bennington was to him.
I know. I will say, considering he was telling us, if you listen, that there were some things that may or may not have been staged.
Yeah.
I was very happy to find out the callers weren't. They were just that good.
Yeah. Well, some of them, I suspect may have been one of the hosts of the show, but
some of them might have been blood related.
Yeah, right. But no, Al was great. He was very insightful, very interesting, and you could tell he really enjoyed talking about the subject. And he's a Why Are You Laughing fan, so he gets it. He gets what we do.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's up on Patreon now. Oh, it's up for YouTube members as well if you're watching live on YouTube. Another members only show we did on the same day. So one of them might have gotten lost in the weeds there. For those of you that are interested in the journalism of S.E. Robinson, who I know is the main liar, the merchant of hate.
That's right.
We did a deep dive into that bad actor.
Yep.
That dirty journalist. S.E. Robinson was exposed by someone on what do you call it? Substack. I almost called it Mudstack.
I had to read the most I've ever read in my life that day.
It was tough. It was tough getting through, but we all got through it together. So there you go, buddy.
If you want to know what it would sound like if I read KMS transcripts.
Yeah, it was so we read there's an article titled "The Main Liar," Maine's Merchant of Hate, Steve Robinson. And it takes a while. I say, stick around through the whole thing. It takes a while. But eventually they quote two of the top political minds on the planet, Menners and Chris from Wakefield, as proof that Steve Robinson is in fact a liar.
And Tim, we don't know which one, but Tim was there.
Tim Ridgeolds or Tim and Canton or someone that has drifted away. We're not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very funny to read. I don't know if this guy has any credentials or anything, but it was just funny. Steve sent it to me on Christmas Eve and just said Merry Christmas. He sent me that article. So we read it on the show the other day. It was fun.
Did he not
But
know KMS was done at that point? He was like, you guys will enjoy this the following week.
Oh yeah. I don't even know if Steve knows. He's like, can't wait to hear you and Kirk talk about this. Steve may still not know that the show is
possible.
But yeah, plenty of members only content up there. You get early access and bonus content. So consider becoming a member. BlindMike.net is the easiest way to find those links. And jam that Spotify. Bother Spotify with the amount of gearheads on there.
Oh my God, what a following we have there.
They're up to 6.
Whoa, someone moved from Apple.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get into it?
Yes.
Let's dive in. There's a lot of comedy drama happening this week that I want to get into.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Nicolas Maduro stuff. No.
Go ahead. I'll give you 40 minutes on that, and then we can move on.
Nah, I was just making a laugh,
Real quick, why is it the best thing America has ever done? Go.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
I find it weird. The operation was extremely impressive that they pulled it off without killing him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about stealing a president yet.
It is kind of funny. They just have him in his sweats. They're like, we got him.
There's a picture of him sitting down giving a double thumbs up, and it's very funny with him in cuffs.
Craig just tuning up for Monday, polishing his knife, sharpening his knife.
I will say, gun to my head, I fucking love it. But I'm not sure yet.
Can we move on now?
Yes.
Okay. As I was saying, there was a lot of drama in the comedy world, particularly this beef that I have my theory on. Craig apparently has his theory.
I do.
He said, I don't mean to shock you guys. He goes, you guys might not be ready to handle my theory. So I said, okay, we'll buckle up for this. But LeMaire Lee is taking shots at the rattlesnake, which I don't care. I'm a loyal rattlesnake guy. I just ordered my first round of Body Brain coffee.
There you go.
So I'm a big rattlesnake guy. But LeMaire's spouting off. If you remember, we've mentioned it in passing that Louis J. Gomez and Tony Hinchcliffe got into argument is the wrong phrase, but for lack of a better term, an argument about the Austin comedy scene versus the New York comedy scene. And it's silly to try and call Austin comedians better than New York already. In 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even 5, like that's certainly a valid possibility. But it's just not there yet. If you look at the names that legends that New York still has. So
all the big comics in Austin started in LA or New York.
Of course, yeah. So it's crazy what they've done that quickly. I wouldn't have thought the mothership would be sold out every night for 4 years now. You know what I mean? Like it's an immediate sellout. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. So like it's very impressive what they've done, but it's kind of a silly argument. It's not there yet. But Tony does his WWE thing where he's the man and he thinks he's a heel or whatever the fuck he does. But a surprising candidate piped up about this, and it is one LeMaire Lee of the Pennies in the Mouth podcast. You may know him better from Matt and Shane, but LeMaire started piping up with this. I believe, my theory is that this is fake comedy drama. Spoiler alert, before we take it very seriously. Mm-hmm. I think it's fake. I think it's LeMaire just trying to get something going. Your theory, Craig.
Same thing. However, I think he's in a fantasy football league with Shane, and he lost, and this was his punishment.
That he has to go at Lewis?
That he has to go at like New York comedy, basically.
I don't know. That seems far-fetched.
You don't think Shane would be like, all right, I need you to go on Twitter?
That's funny. Yeah, that's a funny thing. That's not impossible. I just think Shane would think of a better thing. Because of all the people, like Lewis is crazy. Like he'll go off on people, but he's not actually crazy. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of podcast crazy or in the back of an Uber crazy, but like he's actually one of the most rational people at handling this stuff. I think he handles trolls better than anyone. Now, if you look at his Twitter, I look insane for suggesting that. He's going at fucking Harrington's Grundle going, I fired him before Christmas because he wasn't doing his job. Like he's getting into arguments with people.
Yeah.
But like, so he looks unhinged at times, but he's really not. Like he actually talks about this stuff in a very measured way. But let's enough dilly-dallying. What did LeMaire say about the Austin comedy scene?
The first tweet was, it's weird that the regs talk crap about Austin comedy when 1/4 of them isn't as funny as Danny Braff.
Yeah, so he's saying Lewis, I assume, isn't as funny as maybe he's going after Bob Kelly. Just an unwarranted shot for no reason.
I think he's going at Gas Digital as a whole.
Yeah, so he's shitting on Lewis there, saying Lewis isn't as funny. That to me, because LeMaire is like a legitimate fan of Legion of Skanks. He's like when he was on like Skanks and the Bonfire, he was genuinely like humbled. He was honored to be on those shows. Like he was an actual fan. So I think this is just him trolling. The other theory that I'm willing to believe is what Crack Amico said, where he said LeMaire was basically later. He's like, I'm fucking around. And Crack Amico was like, don't believe this cherubic boy. He got drunk and spouted off at 4 a.m. and woke up and is trying to do damage control. That's also possible.
That's what I think the most realistic scenario is. But I like the fact, like in my head, I'm like, he lost fantasy football and he has to take on New York now.
It's possible. Let's keep going through this this Twitter spiral.
The next tweet was from Lewis, and it just says, "Enjoy the ratio, fag."
That's again where I think you can tell Lewis is handling it in good faith, good measure, you know?
Yeah. And then Lewis also said, sorry, these are all over the place.
We learned about Craig's reading earlier in the week on Patreon.
Hey, my reading was top notch that day.
This is a simpler. Talking about Steve Robinson is a little more difficult than we've gone down a couple grades.
That last 3-letter word, I'm pretty good at saying. Lewis then says, and Danny Braff is funnier than 80% of Austin's comedy scene. Danny is actually really funny.
You can tell Lewis may have actually been triggered where he has to defend Danny Braff. He's like, Danny Braff's a fucking legend. You keep his name out of your mouth, LeMaire.
This is the tweet that I got confused the most by. And it's Lewis saying, cucking for Austin. We will explore your crimes on next week's Real Ass podcast.
Yeah, so that would be, here's the thing is like, we do sort of like a week in review on Sundays, which is annoying because every podcast comes out on Monday. So
right.
It's not like we'll talk about it next week when Lewis talks about it tomorrow. So It'll be a never-ending saga. But yeah, why are you confused by it? Are you not aware the Real Ass Podcast is back?
No, I knew that was back. That
Yeah.
breakup didn't last very long. I was talking more about the crimes.
Well, LeMaire, they're going to expose LeMaire as a pedophile. That's what happens when you go with the boys. They're going to come back hard.
LeMaire, if you need a good lawyer. Then LeMaire said, "This is where I'm like, all right, it's wrestling." He says, "New York smells like shit and piss, and so do the comics."
Yeah, it's like he's fucking around, I think, genuinely. But people take it maybe a lot of the responses are people also fucking around, but there are people that like will turn LeMaire or Lewis. There's like Matt and Shane fans that'll be like, "You're a fucking hack" to Lewis, and there's Skank fans that'll talk shit to LeMaire. It's like, in a week you're gonna like these guys again. What the fuck are you doing? So it is very pro wrestling, and people get tribalized very easily.
And this is crazy coming from LeMaire, I think. I mean, I know him as the producer of one of the bigger podcasts on the planet.
Yeah,
not necessarily a comic,
right?
But
I'm sure I'm sure LeMaire is funny. I haven't seen a lot of his stand-up, but I believe that he's funny.
Yeah, but he says, "I'll take it a step further. New York clubs book some of the worst comics I've ever seen in my fucking life. All you gotta be is a girl with 100K followers, and you can own that city."
Yeah, I mean, I would look at Kill Tony, you know. And look at some of the people who are regulars on there, you know, like people that now sell out theaters because they did a minute on Kill Tony that Tony deemed the greatest thing that has ever been done on the stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it does get a little ridiculous. But my problem with this beef is that if it is fake, I don't like the idea, because I've seen a lot of people criticizing channels like this lately. That's become a popular thing. So people that think it's lame, that guys like me or, you know, whoever else, Too Lazy to Try or Joke World or whoever, people that think it's lame that we talk about comedy drama and these other podcasts and stand-ups and all that, they've now taken to social media to be like, do you know there's channels that talk about these male comedians and take them so serious? And it's like, well, you're now talking about those channels that are talking about other people. How many layers deep is this going to get?
It's become a Russian doll of internet incest.
Yeah, it really is. But my problem as someone that like enjoys this stuff, because genuinely the reason I talk about this, and I think a lot of other channels do too, is like podcasting and stand-up and all that stuff. It's replaced other art forms where people were really into, and not just art forms, but where people were really into politics or sports or whatever. Like now they're into talking about comedy and the things that happen on these podcasts. So I think it starts from a place of genuine interest, but then it becomes like a clickbait thing where people know how to work the algorithm, and then there's fake drama. And even like you saw with the Akash stuff, where Andrew Schulz was able to turn it into like a spectacle. You know what I mean? Where people play into that and then it becomes fake and forced, and it kind of ruins the whole thing. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see where this goes with the Real Ass Podcast this week.
Yeah, I already forgot that Akash's wife's cheating on him.
We all did.
Yeah.
Remember I told you we would all forget about it real quick.
LeMaire ends up saying, "You guys just exposed yourselves as scum. None of you do comedy, and you got so mad at me about something that literally does not matter. Good job, bozos." Now that sounds like an angry guy.
Well, you can't do that, by the way. You can't be like, haha, I said a thing and you all disagreed with me, so you're losers. Well, no, you did the first thing. you did it first. So you can't really play that game. But again, I do think that to me is where it was like, oh, LeMaire's fucking around. Even if he, you know, got big at first and was piping up, he's like, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. And he's backing off, you know, either no matter what his original intention was, this is not going to be that big a deal, I don't think.
So somebody responded to Lewis and Crack Amico. This is the last one we have here.
Okay.
And it says, fuck a song, we need an incident. This all started because he was scared to say you hurt his feelings, and now he's taking it out on the entire city. And Lewis responded to that and said, "What's funny is I wasn't even talking about LeMaire. Always loved LeMaire. His insecurity heard it as a personal attack."
That seemed more genuine.
Yes.
That was Lewis kind of being like, nah, fuck this guy, you know?
Yeah.
But I think if it is serious, I think Lewis probably nailed it. Where LeMaire read it as guys like LeMaire and Gardini or the Kill Tony guys, whatever. I think they might be sensitive to that because it feels like shots at them. You know what I mean?
I feel like, but the difference is I feel like Sean Gardini would never do that.
No, probably not. He's a sweet boy.
Yeah.
But guys at that level are taking it personally because they're now rich. Like they're doing very well. Rich might be a stretch, but they're all doing like very well now and playing bigger venues than they would play at any other time in comedy. You know what I mean? Like if you have the credits and the catalog that like LeMaire has, or even like Hans Kim or any of these guys, they wouldn't be playing the venues that they're playing now. It's just we live in a different time where you can be exposed to people much more quickly and easily. So some of those younger guys are more sensitive to that because they probably feel like they don't deserve a lot of the success they've gotten, which is not really fair to them, but like it's a understandable insecurity that I think, again, the rattlesnake is pinpointed here. Lewis is much more logical and reasonable than you give him credit for, just because he beats up an Uber driver every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, like he'll spaz on like his own people.
Yeah,
but like other than that, he's pretty level-headed.
There really is like, if you look at Lewis's Twitter, you'd think he's like a schizophrenic homeless person. Like he's crazy, because legitimately, there's like he'll promote Body Brain Coffee, and someone will go like, a guy with the name 6 DUIs, but who's counting? I think was one of the names I saw. It was like, it fucking sucks. And Lewis will be like, you don't know what you're talking about, doggy. Freak out on him. So his Twitter looks like madness, but he really is a rational guy. And I believe, I've said this before, I have no reason to say, people are like, oh, you simp for these guys or whatever. I have legitimately no reason to say this stuff other than I'm a fan and I respect him. I believe Louis J. Gomez is the heart and soul of comedy, modern day comedy. Without Louis J. Gomez, it's a totally different landscape, I think. I think a lot of these people get too big for their britches. I think Louis represents something that reels comedy back in and centers it more than any of these other guys.
That's one of the, like if you listen to his podcast, he won't hold back on a topic if he feels that way. And that's one of the few redeeming qualities of Burr Kreischer, too. He does the same shit, but in a goofier way,
Yeah, just a more I think Burt used to do that a little more. I started to finally get
slow down for sure.
On New Year's Eve, I got like Kreischer fatigue. He was on one of the things we were flipping.
I fucking know. So was his mom.
Yeah, the whole family's there, and he's doing wacky bits, and I was just like, all right, man, enough.
Like literally leading up to the ball dropping on that channel, it was Bert's mom and Hardy's mom talking about like cupcakes and how they're gonna fucking hang out, and they're not hearing each other, and it was the clunkiest thing. And then all of a sudden they're like, the ball's coming down.
And by the way, our boy Germ sent me the trailer for Bert's new Netflix show. Oh yeah, series.
Scripted?
Hmm?
Interesting.
About his life. I know based on the trailer, Isla and Georgia are characters. So
okay.
Bert's acting it has not improved since The Machine based on the trailer.
I still haven't seen The Machine.
You're fine.
I feel like I have to wait.
I'll give this to Kreischer as an actor. He is not the worst actor in that movie.
Mark Hamill.
Oh my God, was he terrible?
He's literally the worst actor I've ever seen, and he got so lucky he was Luke Skywalker.
I just assumed because he was Luke Skywalker, I was like, he must have some chops, and he just got pigeonholed into that role,
He's a good voice actor in Batman, but he's not acting physically.
Horrific in that movie. He made Burt look better. Where I guess that's like one good thing. Where it's like at least the star of the movie looks mediocre in comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is, I think Lewis is great for comedy, and we'll stay tuned to this beef. Maybe Lewis will destroy him. What if Lewis just goes way too far? After I said, like, this guy, he gets it. Lewis gets it.
He brings on like 10 women that thought LeMaire went too far with him. We got some stats here.
All right, let's hear him.
Isaac, $2. I miss David Collins. You should have called him.
He doesn't exist. As mysteriously as he arrived, he was gone.
Don Fried Chicken, $5. Craig, can you not buy all the kids mistletoe for Christmas next year and blow kisses at them when they open it? This is the 4th year in a row.
Really? That's a sort of a tradition. Why do you want that to stop?
Never done such a thing. Brando, member for 6 months.
Huh.
Morning, gents. I stumbled on the Ojeda interview yesterday. It was everything I could have imagined and more. That's where Blind Mike liberalism began.
Yeah, Ojeda really convinced me. I said, this guy seems to know what he's talking about.
He was so nice. I like was biting my tongue pretty fucking hard that whole time.
I can only imagine. Yeah, we did have fun with Ojeda. It's a shame. I mistakenly thought Ojeda's run for Congress was going to be a magical carpet ride of content. I guess I didn't realize how much he would tone it down, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's had its moments. I think if he were to win, then I think he would be like, "Oh, I can spaz again.
I can do whatever I want."
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, like, libs of TikTok have gotten him a couple times, or sites like that.
Yeah.
Will be like, "You look at this crazy guy running for Congress," and I'm like, "Buddy, you don't know the half of it." Like, they haven't found one iota of the Ojeda greatness.
Yeah. Hidden Hands Media, $5. Kill Tony's just homeless meth heads from Portland looking for a hot meal.
Well, every once in a while, there are people on Kill Tony that I find funny, and like I'll follow them on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I'll keep tabs on that guy. It's usually, I would say, Tony and I usually go down different routes. You know, usually the guys that I like are never mentioned again on the show, but like there are people that are funny on there, and Tony does a good job with the show, and it's gotten massively popular, which I think like is ultimately a good thing for comedy. I think the problem is people are like, "Oh, so you're saying these are the best comedians?" No, like other than Tony, who says it every week, no one thinks that. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem is people are taking that and extrapolating to, oh, it's the most popular thing in comedy. That means it's all the best comedians. No, like I think Ari Matty's funny, and I think William Montgomery isn't. You know, people are capable of multiple thoughts about the same show.
And I think Tony's saying that to be funny.
Not even to be funny. It's just like hey, it worked.
Yeah.
He willed his way into being the biggest show in the world. So
wrestling formulas work.
Yeah.
Always. Next we got Germ, $5. Bert Kreischer no longer has any redeeming qualities. I'm over him, although we need a Patreon watch along of his new sitcom.
It's tough. Oh, Germ suggested, can we watch? Do you think we'll be able to watch that even though it's on Netflix?
If HACKRIDE Studios can get their hands on it like they did the Quincy, yes.
Okay.
Which is possible.
Okay. Good to know.
And lastly, we have Box Eating Dad, $5. I can't believe the Mets haven't done anything. Can you believe it? Joe Castig.
I don't understand.
Can you believe it?
Well, you had that ready to go.
I saw it right before, so I pulled it up.
Box Eating Dad has done this bit where he's always asking me about the Mets. And I don't know where it started, but
a real hurt boy that the Mets haven't done anything.
It was lucky. One week he called into WATS and asked me about Edwin Diaz, and I just happened to see Edwin Diaz news. So luckily I had something where I could go along with it. But it's rare that I'm able to improv about the Mets.
You went to LA, right?
Yeah, signed for pennies on the dollar.
Look what we're doing.
He got us again.
Now he's just going there.
Yes.
He's going to chase a championship, and now that he's doing that, the Dodgers are done.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Would you like to go?
Let's get into some real topics here. Oh, let's do this quickly. Shouldn't take too much time, but I want to talk about Andrew Schulz because we've mentioned the last few weeks. Quick Riyadh segment this week, folks. Don't worry. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But this has come up a few times. You remember how I think last week or a couple weeks ago, I mentioned Andrew Schulz, where people have been talking, all the comedians that have come out and talked about Riyadh, they're like, yeah, they were actually pretty chill about all the jokes. We like, you know, they had their rules. We couldn't talk about the government or religion. And like, who even cares? We don't even have jokes about that. Like, who gives a shit? But they're pretty fucking chill. The one guy whose response I actually liked about that was Andrew Schulz, who said, yeah, they gave us these restrictions. We just agreed to them and then didn't listen. Like we just did our own thing. And I made jokes about that stuff. And ever since then, I gave Andrew Schulz credit for that. I was like, oh, good for him. And he's like, I'll post them. And I was like, I haven't seen him post them. And I was wrong. He did. This is the joke about 9/11 that he was referring to and patting himself on the back for. You guys tell me if this is what you had in mind when a comedian says, oh, man, we went over there and shocked the world. We really pushed boundaries over there. This was his joke about 9/11, apparently.
I like that turkey guy. I like turkey. He puts his mind to something, it's happening. He's like, I'm going to get WWE, it's happening. I'm going to get UFC, it's happening. I'm going to get boxing, it's happening. Okay? It's powerful. He can literally make the impossible happen. Last Saudi that could do that was Bin Laden, so we just got to make sure, Turkey, please, stick to sports. Stick to sports, Turkey, please. Yes! I don't even know what he said. What the fuck? I need subtitles for this guy. Where you from, buddy? I knew he's from Kuwait. That's what Saudis do, right? Sometimes someone's acting a little retarded, they're like, oh, he's just from Kuwait. Don't bother him, please. It's not his fault. He's from Kuwait. Please. Oh, he's really retarded? Oman. Send him back to Oman. Send him back to Oman, please. I don't want to worry, brother, please.
So I left some of that in there to show Andrew did a lot of material kind of about. There was a lot of like Saudi material. He did jokes about women driving and shit like that. So he did make fun of the culture to a degree. But I got to say, that joke, to pat yourself on the back and be like, we went over there and did 9/11 jokes, that's the only one in the 5-minute clip that he posted.
I mean, he still did it.
He did it. But like
25 minutes on it.
It just feels like a joke that like Saudi Arabia would be okay with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I gotta be honest, the crowd looked like they loved it.
It felt to me, that's true. They did. And that's what I think a lot of these comics are reacting to, is how much the crowd loved it. But again, that's not what anyone's talking about. It's not what people had an issue with.
Oh no, they got me.
But that joke feels to me like going over, like coming to America and doing a joke for the government and being like, oh no, I made fun of slavery. Like something we all agree is wrong. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like something Saudi Arabia hangs their hat on. Like Bin Laden is not the face of Saudi Arabia that they're very proud of. It just felt like kind of an easy joke to get away with there. I give credit to Schulz for doing it. I bet that's more than a lot of these other guys did. Oh, it's a hell of a lot more than it seems like Burr did.
No, he blew them while he was on stage, and he's like, "Isn't this funny?"
Yeah, right.
He's like, "I'm a 12-year-old boy because you guys can't touch women yet." Haha.
So I give credit to Schulz for that, I guess. But it does. If you go back and watch the segment we did on it, he was like, "You guys aren't going to believe what we did. We fucking crucified Saudi Arabia. Like we talked about everything they didn't want us to." And it's like, not really. Now, what I will give you, like the entire thing, if you go watch it, like if they're trying to get society where they can laugh at that type of stuff, I think Schulz did a good job of that. Now, again, the thing people have a problem with is Schulz is working for the government over there. Mm-hmm. Like, Schulz is doing a thing that the government is asking him to do. Stav had Kumail Nanjiani on last week, and they talked about it and made fun of it. And Stav was like, I just don't think, he's like, I don't think I'm taking that principle to stand. I just don't think we should be working for regimes. And it's like, yeah, that's all anyone's saying. That's all anyone's really talking about.
And Trump goes and topples a different one, and all the lefties are crying about it. You know what I mean?
Maybe we'll go to Venezuela next.
That's right.
Make Venezuela laugh. They need it now more than ever, folks. So yeah, I just wanted to play that. I'll be curious what you guys think. Do you give Andrew Schulz credit for making jokes like that? Do you not think he went far enough? I'll be curious to hear the response. Because of all the people, like when it started, Schulz was kind of taking more shit than some of the people.
Yeah.
And since he's responded to it and handled it with more reality than anyone else. Like he's been able to laugh about it, talk about it, say he took a lot of money. Like he did all that. So like Schulz comes out looking good. I still have my problems with him doing it, but of all the guys, like Schulz has started to look the best. I think Schulz moves to the top of the rankings here where we've said the response has been DeStefano 1, Chappelle 2, I guess, just by kind of default. I think Schulz, we might move to the top of the list here.
Definitely. And I mean, I give him credit because he's the only one that even did that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why more of these guys and gals haven't posted clips of these things. Like, why didn't Jessica Kirsten post a clip of her, I don't know, having gay sex on stage or whatever they've applauded her for doing? They're like, it was so powerful what this gay woman did. We haven't seen a second of it in this world where everything is fucking posted. This moment that moved a nation forward, there's not a clip of it?
Well, when she was on stage, the whole audience stood up and turned around and were laughing at the janitor who was mimicking what she was doing.
Well, but it's the thing of it is they're claiming it's the exact opposite, where it's like Jessica Kirsten got a standing ovation because she moved Riyadh forward centuries. She made them okay with gay people and women. And it's like, well, is there a clip? That's a pretty awesome moment, you know? Mm-hmm. There's clips of people over there. There's clips of fucking DeStefano talking to his baggage handler over there. You know, why isn't there a clip of Jessica Kirsten changing history?
I'm guessing it didn't go that well.
I suspect not. Much like the money that she claimed she donated to a charity. What charity was that, by the way? So there's still a lot of issues. I guess that's our weekly Riyadh call out, shorter than usual this week.
Also, I hate when people are like, I'm giving all this money to charity. It's like, why? You didn't go there to do that. Just keep it. Yeah, right. That's not even our problem. Keep the money now. You have it. We're not saying the charity is going to do something better with it. No. That was another thing Kumail said. He's like, why isn't one of these comedians just been like, hey, I took money from these monsters and I'm going to do something better with it? He's like, none of them had that idea. That's pretty good. Kind of. Aziz, kind of, I guess. Yeah. But he was also a charity guy. Yes. And they said, no, thanks. Gross is what they said. Your money. So let's go from the top of the Riyadh pyramid to the bottom. You want to talk about Bill Burr for a minute? Oh, my God, always. I know Craig enjoys this now. Craig was trying to get me to make Bill Burr a lol cow for a year at least, I would say. I was right. I said, no, you're not right, but we'll get to that another time. I was right. The point is, no, you're not right, but the point is I've come around. The point is Bill Burr exposed himself as a phony and a fraud, and now he's a guy we laugh at because he does things like this. So this was last week's Monday morning podcast, and I plan to call him out anytime I hear something like this because it is such wild bullshit that he is doing now, where he's tried to ease back into, you believe these fucking billionaires, dude? You fucking believe this? These billionaires, they're ruining the world. I actually can't wait to hear him talk about Venezuela. We'll see. We'll see what he thinks. Oh my God, war is so bad, right, Bill? Mm-hmm. Don't you think it's terrible? That will be interesting. But let's hear what he's saying about these awful billionaires and these politicians. Can you believe these politicians? Aren't they scum? Not Bill's business partners, just the others. Just the other politicians.
Holy shit, it's the last goddamn Monday of the year. And I would say the best Monday of the year. The Monday between Christmas and New Year's. Because most likely you have it off. Well, at least you did back in the day. Not these fucking heartless bastards now. They send you right back to work. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, those are the heartless bastards in Bill's life.
They send you back to work. What they should be doing is sending you back to slavery.
Yeah. They send you right back to work. They make people put tips on credit cards. They take a portion of your tips. They fucking make money off of that too. They don't give you anything.
They give us the whole tip. You wouldn't believe it.
I'm just like, I think back to like his bit about, automatic checkouts and shit at grocery stores. And I'm like, you fucking phony piece of shit.
I went to Chili's in Saudi Arabia. No tipping. Wasn't even an option. I didn't have to tip those poor people. Isn't that great?
I like high-pitched Bill Burr voice.
It's all I can do. My Bill Burr is my Bob Kelly, by the way. It's the same.
Dude. And we all know who the problem is. The fucking immigrants. We
Whoa,
could just get these
all right.
fucking immigrants in a van and stuck in a.
Craig, sorry. He's being ironic.
No, he's not.
Craig's
No.
like, he's back.
Bill's back. Did you hear him?
Jail with alligators around them.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, these billionaires, they'll start loosening up the purse strings and they'll start trickling down again. Totally makes sense.
They pay a fucking comedian to do their bidding. It's fucking disgusting. These fucking billionaires, it's humiliating.
I like
They pay people to just spread propaganda about them and say they're changing the world for the better. It's fucking gross.
I like to think that there's a billboard in Saudi Arabia. It's Bill Burr with barbecue sauce on his face holding baby back ribs. It's like,
he's their Billy Mays over there.
Yeah, come for the comedy, stay for the ribs.
Bill, David Cross put it best. I'm going to keep quoting it every time we talk about this fucking loser, Bill Burr. You sold your ability to talk about this. You literally sold out. Stop talking about billionaires. Stop talking about greedy rich people. It was interesting, and you were good at it, and you were exposing something that deserved exposure. And then you said, yeah, but I'd really like to take money from a lot of them. And again, and to be fair, where Craig says like he was right about this stuff, I did hear a lot of people saying like, see, he works for Disney now. And to me, I was like, yeah, that's where actors work for big corporations. Like it didn't strike me as the same. But then when you have something so glaring as working for a regime, working for a royal family, going over there and tap dancing and saying, hey, you don't want me to talk about politics or religion? No problem. It's not my entire fucking act.
My kids, they love that Mickey Mouse.
Listen to the amount of bits this fucking guy has about Christianity, which, by the way, you should. Christianity and Catholicism and the church and all of that, you should make fun of all that stuff. But then when they say, hey, don't make fun of Islam, what would I even make fun of? What is there to make fun of, dude? It's fucking awesome.
And that's what Schulz did not do. He didn't make fun of Islam. He made fun of a guy.
Exactly. That's my thing is like, it wasn't necessarily brave what Schulz did. It might be more brave than I'd be willing to be over there.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? If you dragged me over there, I'd be like, it's fucking, who do you guys hate? The Jews? They're terrible.
You know, you go over there and I'm like, dude, you guys been to this Chili's?
But again, the difference is I'm being dragged over there. I'm not volunteer. What do you guys need? Can I do anything? Bill's bussing tables at the Chili's now.
Get these fucking illegal immigrants out of here, man.
That's
These
right.
fucking people are
Bill's back.
picking fucking.
Read between the lines, damn it. He's sucking you in.
No, he's back. People like us made him go, what am I doing with my life? And he's realized.
Well, let's continue.
For $3 a month, and if they can do that for 200 years and then pool all of their money together to somehow keep up with inflation, they will in fact outbid one of you on a house.
Yeah. What's the minimum wage in Saudi Arabia, Bill? You looking at that over there?
It's a piece of toast.
And when I say minimum wage, I mean, what is the absolute least people are forced to work for over there? Did you look at any of that? Or is it only the American billionaires that are bad? We have the only bad ones? It's weird. Money doesn't change people in any other land. Just America.
Just glad we got our priorities straight. I'm so sick of them pointing the finger at the wrong people. Finally, they're pointing the finger at the right people.
He's back.
Get these goddamn illegal immigrants out of here so the pharmaceutical industry can actually, focus on their job.
Preach, brother.
He sounds so weak now when he does this. You know what I mean? It's the same guy. And he's saying a lot of the same shit, and it's just had all the teeth ripped out. Like any form of life in these rants was just sucked out. Not when he went to Saudi Arabia, by the way. Again, that's not my real issue, as we just heard with Schulz when we were talking about that. My real issue is coming back here and going, these fucking racists. They didn't want me to go over there. They didn't want me to have KFC in Saudi Arabia. Fucking disgusting, these racists.
He's like, the way I used to think about women on all my old specials, they get over there.
That was a thing. I think I heard maybe Carl play this clip or something. I forget who I was listening to. It was from the original rant. And Bill said something. He's like, yeah, there's a lady on the plane. She was she was wearing a burqa, but I could tell she was smiling because of her eyes. And I'm like, Bill, listen to the sentence you're saying. You fucking snapped, man.
I did not hear that one. That's crazy.
I could tell she was smiling. Like the level of insanity and delusion. And Bill, the reason people are calling you out on this, I will say some positive comments have started to seep through. I went to the comments section of this one. It's not one. We're down to like 95% of negative comments now. But like the reason people are calling you out, Bill, it's not cancel culture. It's not fake news. It's because you would have called out some fucking delusional hypocrite for being like, hey, she was smiling through her burqa. Like you would have called people out for that. And you would have called celebrities out for that. You would have called these out of touch, preachy celebrities out for stuff like that. And now that's exactly what you are. And you think you can dump your political views on us and you can slide right back into that when we've seen you're a fucking fraud. And still, this is what a child I am. I still believe, like, I want Bill to like redeem himself and snap out of this and say something that reminds me, like, oh yeah, there's the guy, there's the old guy. But I don't know. He might be too far gone here. He might just completely be delusional and not realize that anyone who ever believed in him and liked him is just gone. Like they don't give a fuck about him.
I think the best thing he could have done for his career is not go to that fucking festival.
No, I don't even agree with that.
Well, because then he could be like, this is my stance. I don't do shit for billionaires. And he could have.
Well, yeah, sure. I guess. If he went the Shane and Stavros route, that would have been, we'd be like, hey, Bill Burr's a real one.
Mm-hmm.
I really just think all it would have taken is him doing what Chappelle and Schulz, like, look at the people who are really getting shit. It's mainly Burr and Whitney, honestly.
I do want to hear Bill Burr compare Martin Luther King to Charlie Kirk, though.
like Chappelle did a thing that we kind of all thought he would do. Chappelle's Muslim, first of all. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not going to crucify the religion. Like, so there are things Chappelle we kind of expected from him that he did do. Like if Bill came out and talked about it honestly and made jokes about taking the money the way Chappelle did all that, I think a lot more people would be like, whatever. You know, who gives a shit?
The right thing for everybody. You know, you watch, man, once they get these illegal immigrants out of this country, you watch all of a sudden magically, Democrats and Republicans will start working for the people. You won't be able to bribe them anymore. Why do politicians make such...
I'll tell you probably can't bribe is the Saudi royal family because they have so much fucking money that it doesn't matter to them, Bill. They can actually do whatever the fuck they want because they are printing money over there.
Let me tell you this little story about Live Golf where they pay billions of dollars to make nothing.
I'm sure there's no corruption going on there.
Oh, no, none.
That was my favorite. I don't know if you heard last week. Maybe my favorite quote of any of these guys is Tom Segura going, oh, well, they already do this stuff in Dubai. And Riyadh wanted to take Dubai down. So I was like, yeah, sure. It's like, what? So you're using yourself as a pawn in this chess match between Middle Eastern countries. You signed up and said, yeah, why not?
He said, was that the Rogan thing?
Yeah.
Rogan wasn't buying it, right?
No, like Rogan, you could tell Rogan was like, this is my friend. I'm not going to humiliate him.
Yeah.
And Rogan's like that anyways. He doesn't like call people out like that.
Right.
But he does mention these things where he's like, he set Tom up a couple times where he's like, you know, why do musicians get more shit than comedians? And Tom goes, exactly. And Joe goes, it's probably because we talk about our point of view and we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And Tom's like, oh, yeah, I guess.
Just, I don't know why it's so hard to be like, yeah, I did it for the money.
Burr should do. Again, I don't know if Rogan's the guy because Rogan's not going to really take him to task on a lot of this stuff. But Burr should do a podcast with a comedian that really disagrees with him, and they should just talk about it. They don't have to yell and scream at each other. Just fucking talk about it. You
I
know,
don't think Bill's wife's going to let him go on Rogan anymore.
well, maybe not, but
I mean, seriously, how long has it been since he was on that show?
COVID, right?
That's
Was
crazy.
the last time the mask thing?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of money. You know, if anybody should get a pay raise, forget the fucking teachers. Let's start with the politicians. You know, if you're going to be president of the United States and have to deal with
Bill,
that many
those are
fucking
your bosses. Stop. Don't go after American politicians. I'm sorry. I was worried about him for a second. I thought, thank goodness, I thought he was criticizing the Saudi Arabian royal family. I thought that was the government he was going after. I hope it's just our government, our nasty government here.
Imagine living in a country where the leader of said country doesn't take a cent to run it.
And by the way, the people that say like, oh, and our government is so great. No, you shouldn't partner with any of them if you're a comedian. You shouldn't partner with our government. Again, Tony Hinchcliffe got so much shit for not taking money from Donald Trump and just doing a fucking 10-minute set at Madison Square Garden.
That sentence is hilarious.
Right.
You know, I'm not talking about the whores by the fucking First Lady pool, whatever they call that thing. Huh? The Look the Other Way Lagoon. Is that what they call the fucking... Oh, if that pool could talk. Is there a pool at the fucking White House? Wait a minute. Do you only make like $200,000 a year to be president and you don't have a fucking pool?
He doesn't know how much what they
That's
make.
got to be the worst fucking place to live.
I don't read anything, so I can get away with everything forever.
Well, the president gets it says between $400 and $450 a year.
Not Donnie.
Nope, he donates all of it. You know, a
What a
bad
guy.
guy. What a bad guy.
But again, like, sure, our politicians are fucking terrible and corrupt. But he's acting like, oh, they have these women at this pool. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, really. But do you think, let's say the Saudi royal prince is at a pool with a scantily clad women. I'm sure he's treating them lovely. Madam, may I sometime take you on a date? What a fucking child Bill is. Think about your business partners, Bill, before you talk all this kind of shit.
Did you know that Bill Burr looks an awful lot like Billy Corgan?
I have heard that.
Next, we have corruption.
Oh, man. Boy, I hope Bill doesn't expose our government as corrupt. That would be devastating.
And then what do? We wonder why these politicians are corrupt. They're not making enough money. We got to pay them. You got to give them enough money where they're unbribable.
Give him like $3 trillion. That's, guys, I got to tell you, I've done some world traveling lately. If you make the politicians trillionaires, they're lovely. They're fucking great.
They pay for your dinners.
The best was when Bill called. He's like, I went over there. They're silly, just like me. I'm sure that those were Jamal Khashoggi's last words.
Yeah.
Knock it off, you silly geese. Jamal Khashoggi fell onto a whoopee cushion before he was dismembered.
I do like that Dave Chappelle was like, that is bad, but
it was at least a funny line where Chappelle was like, and that's bad, but no but, period. He caught himself.
Yeah.
And then what? What if they're still an asshole? There's too many variables. Ah, Jesus Christ. Bill, just stick with sports. Just keep watching sports.
Yes, that is what you should do, actually, legitimately.
And playing drums. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's my life goal. Just keep watching sports. And, occasionally running into people that watch the news and just ride out whatever they're saying.
Again, Bill, this is not a news story. Like, this is him dog whistling to his audience, his remaining fans, saying like, the fucking news has tricked you. They're making you think I'm a bad guy. I don't watch CNN or Fox or any of that shit. This has been, I heard what happened, and I have formulated my own opinion. And it seems like a lot of people agree with me. And this is comedy fans that liked you. It's not fake outrage. It's not cancel culture. I actually don't even see even the people in Bill's comments that are calling him Billy Bonesaw and Billy Burka and all of that.
I like that one.
I haven't read those people being like Bill's podcast should be taken away. No one's going after Bill's advertisers. No one's trying to get his shows canceled. I haven't heard any of that. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to listen. If you have examples of people going after his sponsors or whatever, send it my way and I will speak out against it because I still don't believe in that shit, even though I disagree with Bill Burr. The problem is disenfranchised fans that are saying, fuck you, man. But he's trying to use this fake news. As I always say, it's Rogan speak, where he's trying to tell people like, oh, it's the fake news that you're believing in, man. It's not me.
Somebody informed in your life. Jesus Christ. If you just want to constantly be in the fight or flight mode, and I don't mean somebody that watches CNN or Fox News, the sitcom of news. I don't mean that bullshit. I mean somebody who's actually digging deep.
Oh.
You know?
Like who?
Getting into the fucking weeds on the internet.
I would love if he just started talking about the main liar.
That's his new thing. He's going after Steve, the merchant of hate.
You're not going to believe the correlation we found from a 1920s Klansman in this guy.
But this is, again, him like spitting in the face of his audience. This was his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bill was like one of the first people I heard as a kid. One of the first people I was interested in hearing talk about the big banks and corruption and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And these were like fringe people on the fringes were talking about that. It wasn't the mainstream media. And now Bill's like, oh, you want to be one of those lunatics who gets his information on the internet?
Going rogue. I love people that like fucking go deep on the internet. Like you're going to be the one that figures it out.
It was you dickhead.
He's such a cunt.
You're going to be the one that figures it out. You've been preaching for 15 fucking years about corruption and politics and the people with a red tie and a blue tie, they're both evil. And these people that go to I'mRight.com and just believe whatever political bullshit they've been fed. That was you, you jackass.
Not going to get you. You're not going to get radicalized. That's for all those other people.
Oh, all right, Bill.
Yeah, it's all our fault. It's all of us.
But it doesn't stop there.
Oh no,
we go on to social media.
Oh well, I think particularly in the last few months, social media has become a real bad place. I mean, and this is for all of Bill Burr speaking for the people.
Yeah.
Tim, let's see if he gives an exact month that social media got really bad.
My goal in 2026, I don't know how you do this as a comedian because I got to know what people are watching and what they're talking about. I got to somehow, you know how people drink responsibly? I need to like be on the internet responsibly. I'm off social media now. I still have my pages because I got to have them. I got to promote my shit.
Sure.
I mean,
Bill, yeah.
Do here.
I believe that. Bill doesn't have a social media person.
No.
It's Bill Burr logging into Instagram, cutting his clips and posting them.
Yeah, he also knows how to put in like links and all that stuff for sure.
Bill, the $1.5 million that Saudi paid you, hire a fucking assistant to post that shit.
No kidding.
I got off them in like end of August, early September.
Really? What are the odds?
Wow.
Now let me think. What happened around that time?
The time you went to Chili's.
Bill, I've got news for you. You made it in the nick of time. It was like a week later that people started calling you a fucking hypocrite sellout. Bill, stay off because oddly since then, no one has had anything good to say about you. It's crazy.
Has he brought up the festival at all lately? Or is he just speaking around it?
He does these things where he's like, he'll read a question and he goes, that's just like that fucking thing I had to go through a few months ago with all that bullshit. He doesn't like that. And to be fair, he may have he'll say like Riyadh, I think, once in a while. It's not like he completely avoids it, but he talks about it like it's this fake news scandal that we all agree was bullshit. Which, by the way, that'll work eventually. Because as I said when it happened, Bill is big enough now that he has plenty of fans that don't even know this fucking festival happened, you know? Like it's a pretty, relative to the world, like compare the Riyadh story to what happened this weekend in Venezuela. Riyadh's a pretty niche story, you know? So even more so, like that's among comedy, not even all comedy fans care about it. Bill has people outside of comedy that just know the name Bill Burr that'll watch his specials and his movies and all that shit. So like Bill will survive, and there are people that he will convince that it was all bullshit. But anyone who really like cared about what Bill Burr was saying and what he stood for and all of that, I think I haven't heard a person that's like, no, I believed in him then and I believe in him now.
But then I kind of just replaced it with YouTube. YouTube
Bad news.
Sucks, by the way.
Bad news, Bill. Look at the comments on YouTube.
They're pretty bad there.
I hope it's just other people's YouTubes because I've got some bad news. Don't go to Crackamico's page, Bill.
Yeah, no kidding.
You click on videos and they just keep sending you, like, they'll send you 10 new ones and like 4 of them are ones you already saw. I don't know. You would think that they would work on some shit like that, but
yeah, Saudi Arabia has the best YouTube. That's fucking great over there. All fresh ideas.
It's not policed at all.
all fresh new ideas. Really enlightened stuff over there.
Now we have war.
What is it good for? I think Burr is going to tell us.
I gotta be honest with you, I still don't understand why it is so widely accepted to this day. Like, I don't get it. Like, the amount of shit that as a comedian you can't say, but you can still go to war for a fucking corporation.
Stop doing that!
Oh my God.
You're not allowed to do this anymore, Bill.
Oh my fucking God.
Oh, the amount of stuff you can't say. How about the stuff you agreed to, Bill? I know Tom Segura said it was very painful when he did corporate for a university and they asked him not to make fun of the mascot. But it's a little different when a nation says, hey, just do us a favor. Don't mention our regime here and the atrocities that we've committed or the religion that rules over everything we do. Just, if you could stay away from those two things.
Don't mention the execution that happened on this very stage.
What would be interesting is if Bill had some self-awareness and he hired a producer, hire Crackamico. I think he'd be good at it. Hire someone to hit a buzzer every time Bill does something like that. That is so insanely hypocritical. Where, like, if you say, what the fuck, these people, why do these people love war? Well, I don't know, Bill. Ask your business partners. They seem to be entangled in a few of them.
See, like, I haven't gone back and watched like Let It Go or anything since all this, and I don't think I can watch it ever again. I think I just want to remember enjoying it, because if I go back and watch it, I'm gonna be like, this fucking phony.
It'll be tough. I guess it'll be like, I was not a Cosby Show fan, but I imagine if you were, you're like, oh, that's Cliff Huxtable, you know. That's not, that guy's not raping anyone, you know?
Right.
I imagine it's similar just in that, like, you'll find a way to tell yourself, like, oh, well, this is a different guy. This is pre-money Bill Burr or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough because he's espousing the same theories in this clip.
Right.
Can you believe these fucking billionaires? They start wars.
He's really poisoned his own well.
He certainly has.
And then blamed everyone else for it.
Yeah.
You know, you can have these false flag wars and all of these fucking, you know, so-called journalists.
How come I can poison my well? I can't poison my well, but the government can do that, huh? Government does that.
Working for 2 fucking billionaires, don't fucking say a goddamn word about it. It's yeah, that makes you think.
Whoa. Go back. I'm sorry. I think we stepped on something there. Bill must be saying you should have no problem morally with working for billionaires, right?
Right.
Hey, if you work for billionaires, don't worry about it. If you're partners with them, clean conscience.
Say, but you can still go to war for a fucking corporation. You know, you can have these false flag wars and all of these fucking, you know, so-called journalists. working for 2 fucking billionaires don't fucking say a goddamn word about it. It's yeah, that makes you think.
That's
So
what,
anyway,
that's what he called Khashoggi, a so-called journalist.
Quote unquote. I'll tell you what that guy was. He was a war loser.
Yeah.
Second place is the first loser, Jamal. Bill, you went to war. Like, in a weird way, Bill Burr went to war for a country. He went over there to serve as propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, listen, maybe they're doing great things. Maybe, luckily, a regime took over that are sweet as pie. Like, they're all nice guys. And they looked at, you know, Saudi Arabia's past crimes and they said, oh my goodness, what have we been doing? we can't stand for that. Enough is enough. So maybe these are sweet guys. Until we're made aware of that, Bill, we kind of look at it as you went over there and you got, you know, you drank and ate whatever you wanted. You got millions of dollars. You had all the finest amenities. And you came back here and you did an infomercial for them. You did public relations. So in a way, like, you did the stuff that you're so mad about. And there's a word for that. I just can't think of what it is.
This is retiring.
So this was the craziest clip to me. And I believe we're closing on this, right? This is our last Burr clip.
Yep.
As we close on Bill Burr, we learn he is doing the same to us. He's apparently thinking of calling it a day, saying, guys, I've done it all. I don't know if there's an event that inspired that, but he's thinking about hanging it up, which was actually very surprising to me.
like if I was to stop, I mean, I got a lot of great memories, but there would be, and I would be amazed at how fast it's gone by. But I would also look back and I'm not gonna lie to you, there'd be a part of me thinking like, what the fuck was that? Like, why did I have the need to do that?
That's what we're all wondering.
Like,
I'm wondering why that was so funny.
He laughs at himself a lot. I guess it's a thing you do. And again, I can't skewer him on this because I think he's always done it. And I used to like his solo podcast. I never had a problem with it before. I think it's just a thing you do when you're talking alone enough. Like you're almost your own laugh track. You have to like let people know you're kidding or something.
Maybe, yeah.
I guess.
that was insane. Whatever that fucking need was, that void, that just took me around the world. I had all these great experiences and I met all of these people. But it was also like, it was weird. It was like I was living a dream, but I was also running from shit.
The Saudi government.
This is a thing he's been kind of using where he keeps talking about his trauma. Where, like,
His dad definitely like allegedly molested him. If we...
Definitely not. We definitely don't know that.
I said allegedly.
I don't think that covers us. Because it hasn't been alleged until you just said it.
Well, no, I mean, like he kind of inferred something
theory that we have no idea about. But
he kind of inferred something weird, like not necessarily that specifically, but something
in his special, he says something about being touched as a kid.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was just thrown away. Like we all knew it, but we didn't. It was unusual. But he's mentioned a lot lately, this trauma. And a thing, I used to listen to a comedian that would say, oh, I hate these people that just use their trauma as an excuse for all their behavior. Like they can just do whatever they want. And he was a great, legendary comedian. And that guy sadly passed away. But I implement his theories still to this day. And I say, hey, Bill, you don't get away with everything just because everyone has shit. Everyone's been through stuff. It doesn't mean we just go, oh, well, then you're fine. Nothing you ever said matters. It's all good.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm 57, sliding into 60. I'm starting to think about the end. Like, how does this end? Not my life. I plan on living to 100 if I can. But like, as far as like, how do I just gracefully get off this ride? Just like in the merry-go-round.
You missed it.
Step off with.
You missed it.
Yeah.
It's over. You cannot do that anymore. It's all done. It's like when I believe in the Fly episode of Breaking Bad.
Underrated episode, by the way.
Walter is trying to think of the moment he should have died. But he knows it's past. It's gone. He doesn't have that opportunity anymore. He says when he's singing to his daughter, that's the moment he should have died.
Well,
And that's Bill thinking about his career will always think of if I had just croaked right before I got on the plane to Riyadh. That's the moment that I should have got. You can no longer gracefully do that anymore, Bill. If you're thinking about your legacy and how you can leave with like your fans having any respect for you, it's done. Now there's something you can do to change it, but if you just sit here and pontificate the same way you have for 20 years, then you missed out. Sorry, the boat is left.
The Fly turned out to be one of the best episodes.
Let's do that another time.
It was the episode where he realized he lost his fucking mind.
That is true. I like The Fly more than a lot of other people.
Me too.
It's the most boring episode.
Yeah, it's not great in terms of action, but story. There's a lot of story in there.
Yes.
Also, Bill Burr in that show.
Oh yeah, I meant that. It was all on purpose.
Yeah. Honestly, the episode they robbed the train that Bill Burr's in, it's one of the best episodes of the show. I loved it. Motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Ruined everything for us.
Without doing a face plant or falling backwards and cracking my skull. Like, how exactly does this happen?
Too late.
God knows I got enough hobbies to keep myself busy. If I stopped doing this shit, all I would do, other than hanging out with my kids, which is my number one priority, because
We know.
I have in the past. I think that Broadway play, Being Away, that was it for me, as far as like
Weird. Weird. What happened around the same time as the Broadway play? He's like, you know what really took a lot out of me and destroyed my reputation? It was Glenn Ross on Broadway. Oh, I wish it, if I could take back one thing. When people think of my legacy and how it shattered to a million pieces, people are going to be like, damn, why did he take Broadway by storm? Why did he blow us away with his acting?
And now that I've finally calmed down and gotten rid of my anger, which I know is an ongoing project here, like I'm going to just, always going to do stand up and stuff, but I'm going to like be,
It might be a mistake.
more.
You might want to ease into acting.
Yeah,
You've become much more of an actor now. Like that's what you're better suited for. Giving your opinions, I think those days are done, probably. You should fill your time with acting and spending time with your kids. Stand up, I don't know if people are going to take you all that seriously anymore. And what he really ruined, and again, he's trying to hide behind this, but what he really ruined is he's like, I've really been working on my anger. That would have been an interesting journey to watch. This guy who was always pissed off about shit, to watch him evolve. But Bill Burr thinks it means like, oh, well, I'm not as angry as I used to be. So now I can take money from Saudi Arabia for propaganda. That's what that means, right? I'm not as angry as I used to be, so I can just spit in the face of all the morals and values I held as the definition of my character.
He's like, yeah, the way I got to ease off this ride is I just got to do less shows a year. He just does 4 shows in Saudi every year.
It's great. They love me over there.
I get paid the same amount to do 4 shows.
And again, as I said, I don't have, because there may be people that watch this that don't know the show or whatever, or don't know me. It is not, I don't have this stance on Saudi Arabia or the government or other nation. I don't have this hard stance where I'm like, how dare he take that money? Chris DiStefano does not tell me how horrible politicians are, how corrupt everyone is, billionaires, all like that's not what I think of when I think of Chris DiStefano or any of these guys. It's what I think of when I think of Bill Burr. And that's the wild thing about these little rants that he goes on now, where it's like, no, you just told us you were lying about caring about all that shit.
I'm going to just, always going to do stand up and stuff, but I am going to like be much more I don't know what. Like, I'm not going to be, my whole career, people going like, dude, how do you got time to do all of this shit? I don't want to be that guy anymore.
You have time to go fly to Riyadh and make it back for Broadway.
Well, that's first class.
Well, it's private. It's not first class, you silly goose. You're like one of these silly royals.
Yeah.
Craig has such a good sense of humor. He should be over there in Riyadh.
Just getting pied. Some super chats here.
Okay.
Blocks Eating Dad, $2. Move over, Kirsten. Wheels that dude is a gay woman.
Which one?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Scarlett, 1208, $10. For the record, what Jessica did was she made a joke about one of the royals in the audience going on Grindr. I believe it was one of the royals. It could have just been some rando.
Nice. Okay.
Sweet. Hack ride, $5. When Oregon tallywhacks Indiana, can we get Blind Mike to wear a University of Oregon hat for fuck? Oh, for luck. Sorry. That's it.
He said Casey sent me a clip of I guess the quarterback for Indiana won the Heisman. Is that right?
I think so.
He gave some speech where he's like, "Hey, this is a team award. Like, I give credit to all of the 22 guys on the field with me, and this is a team award. Like, this is not just me. It shows that Indiana football is the best in the nation. That's what the Heisman is to me." And Casey sends me that clip and goes, "Look at this fucking loser."
That's a great answer.
That's a terrifically, like, that's a guy, that's a leader.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, he's a fucking dork." I don't know. It seemed fine to me.
Oh my God. I do like this side of Casey that comes out with Oregon because he's such a happy person. And then talk about anything against the Ducks and he wants you dead within seconds, like for real.
Go Hoosiers, I say.
Germ, 42, $5. Craig has been right once in the history of the show. Let him have this one, Mike.
He's really mad.
I've been right at least twice.
What's the other time?
David Collins.
How do you mean?
I call when it first started going down and we thought it was a joke.
Oh, you were angrier than I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Just saying. I come buckets, $5. Thanks again, Craig, for photographing my niece's birthday pool party. Didn't think private sessions were necessary, but that's why you're the expert.
And that's why the pictures turned out so great, I'm sure. You don't realize you need a pro until you get one.
Isaac something, $2. Forrest Shinerock called. He said, "Call me back."
I don't get the reference.
I don't either. And last we have Weird Comet, £5 or euros for the goal.
Well, thank you, buddy. No goal today, but we are still trying to hit. You know what? No goal this week, but if we get ahead far enough, it'll knock out next week's goal. Consider that.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah. Moving on to Bryan Callen. Can we talk about Bryan real quick?
Oh, yeah.
This was very quick. Program director Germ sent me this. Sends me a lot of good stuff that I wouldn't see otherwise. And Bryan Callen was out promoting False Gods, which on this channel we know False Gods is a generational special.
Yes.
You got to wait till the end to really get the good stuff. But if you make it there, it changes your brain.
And if you are to get there, you can't skip ahead. You need to drink the whole thing in.
That's true. Yeah, don't just skip to the end. It's not going to wash over you the same way.
Right.
If you watch the entire thing and then get to the end, it changes lives. Changes generations, I think. Your future kids are different because of it.
That's right.
So that we're doing our part to promote False Gods. Bryan Callen is doing his. He did the Overdogs podcast. Is that the name of this? I think.
I have no idea, to be honest. It just says Stripe on the screen.
It's an original setup. One of these guys is a fighter and the other is a podcaster. It's an interesting format.
Yeah.
So these guys are one of them is a fighter and the kid fan. And so I guess he suggested, hey, we should have Bryan Callen on to talk about false gods. So let's hear a little of them setting up the Bryan Callen appearance.
I listened to podcasts and I just looked for MMA ones. This is before I was on Twitter or anything, and most people weren't really MMA fans. You can't talk in depth with anyone about this shit. So I found podcasts, and Fighter and the Kid, no matter what you think about it, because I think nowadays it's not really considered an MMA podcast. And in the way everyone hates Brendan Schaub, which I like Brendan anyway. It was that got me into podcast and further into MMA and listening to podcasts. Now I'm sitting on a podcast and about to have him on here.
I like that even he's like a fan, and he's like, I mean, like, people kind of hate it now, but like, even he can't. In this spirited intro, he's like, and people think Schaub's a loser, I guess, and they've kind of really fallen off. Like that's the get hyped moment for Bryan Callen coming on your podcast.
Yeah, I like how he goes, yeah, people hate Brendan Schaub. Well, anyways.
Where was I going with
that? Next we got correction.
Yeah, so Bryan Callen is brought onto the podcast, and I just found this interesting how he's like, hey, listen, like I don't mind Fighter and the Kid, but then when he gets labeled Fighter and the Kid fan, he wants to make sure it's known exactly how he feels about it.
We're a fan of your comedy. We were just talking about some comedy stuff, man. Mac Malley said you're the reason he started doing podcasts.
No, that's not exactly what I said.
What you said.
Whoa. Slow down.
That doesn't seem like a place to really put your foot down. I mean, he's not like completely off.
He's like, whoa. Gee, no. Please don't associate this podcast with the Fighter and the Kid. If I said anything like that, I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you heard, I said it's no longer an MMA show.
I said people hate, remember I said people hate Schaub, homeless cats? You heard me say that? Just giving his credentials to...
I do want to go look at the comment section of this episode after.
It didn't have a ton of views. I don't know how Germ found it. He just listens to everything, I guess. But
he's like, I hate Callen so much. I gotta. Next, we got False Gods, where they talk about the.
Okay, so this was it was such my favorite special of the year that I didn't even include it in our list that we did on Why You Laughing.
It's the number 10 slot that you guys are wondering where it was.
Number 10. I say slide down Joe DeRosa. Move over, buddy. False Gods was number 1 of the year. I thought it was so known that I didn't even have to include it. People tune into that and they're like, so what's after False Gods?
It's the top 9 sponsored by False Gods.
Right, exactly. So yeah, go check that out. Check out False Gods on this channel. But this is them trying to do some promo for it. This is how you should ready your mind if you're getting into the right mindset for False Gods.
You're like, the way you step back and analyze society and like psychology is hilarious. And I always think you're dead on, Brian. But let me switch real quick. You have a new special on YouTube. And it was interesting right before. So let's promote that. And then right before you hopped on here, seconds before, we were waiting for you to hop on. That's fine. But Mike inadvertently had said, oh, I want to write my own jokes. I always repeat jokes. And I went, look who we're having right now, Bryan Callen.
This guy repeats all his jokes.
What is happening?
This guy hasn't done new material in years until he did that Apple bit.
It sounds like me talking to Bill Burr before he fell off. Like, hey, you're pretty good at that thing.
It is funny. And by the way, we're going to talk about Marc Maron later. And the theory I have always had is like, when people are criticizing Joe Rogan, they're really talking about Bryan Callen.
Yes.
And Tony Hinchcliffe and Schaub and some of these other guys that like want to be like Rogan. You know, these people that will read some of the articles that Rogan talks about or some of the books and try to be as informed as Rogan is. Again, like, I don't think Rogan's incredibly smart. I just think he's interested in he's curious. He's interested in a lot of shit. And then a lot of these guys hopped on and were like, well, that'll be my personality now too. Bryan Callen is one of the most egregious felons of that crime.
Here, special, which I love all your
Yeah,
specials.
it's dropped on YouTube. It's called False Gods.
Yes, sir.
And it's really about sort of like how social media and your phone is a false god. If you ever read the Old Testament and New Testament,
That's the whole ending.
He's doing the whole fucking thing. He's
It
like,
really
let me pull up this transcript of my special.
It really is. You know, it's funny you mentioned false gods because it really is pretty brilliant. Let me explain to you what I did with it.
blessedness is don't worship anything you can measure that's man-made, and you better be careful about putting all your faith in things like science and in your in your phone and everything else. But I kind of talk about, I guess I draw the correlation between the fact that it's not an accident that it's called the apple, and
that's the punchline, you jackass.
So when they say that now, if they see this interview, they're gonna go watch it, and he's gonna do that whole reveal at the end, and they're gonna be like, "Well, yeah, you already said that."
So the whole build up to, I guess I have to spoil it now because Bryan did. The whole build up in Bryan's special is this. It's not the whole special, by the way. It's the last like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, if you guys want to fucking, by the way, no more listening to music when you work out. Listen to the first 15 minutes of False Gods. You'll be jacked.
What the fuck is happening? Yeah. So Bryan does this thing where at the end of his special, he talks about, I don't know, the Bible, I guess. And he's like, and then we have Steve Jobs.
He's dressed like Steve Jobs too.
Who gave, and my favorite line ever is, I remember privacy.
Yeah.
And when those two towers went down, that's how you know you're being a douchebag, is if you reference 9/11, not by saying 9/11, you go, when those two towers went down, because then we all go, I know which towers he's talking about.
The Wilhelm scream or whatever the fuck he called it.
He goes, man, when those two towers went down, we lost privacy. And then he does this whole thing about the iPhone and how it controls our life. And he's like, is it any coincidence that the phone is also called the Apple? Which it isn't, by the way. The company is Apple, not the Apple. But all right, I'm willing to suspend some disbelief here. He goes, it's called the Apple. And then he goes, thank you very much. And people were like, oh, it's over. All right.
And someone in the crowd was like, I have a Galaxy.
Well, don't worship that either, but you get the point.
And then he's like, oh, let me tell you about the Big Bang.
But in this promotion, he just spoiled it.
I know. That's the whole special just gone.
It's like if Carlin was doing a special and he's like, it's about cheese tits and tater tits. And no, those are the jokes in there.
that was the fall of man. So it's been pretty cool.
And that's a comedy special you're talking about.
Yeah, I shot it in at the mothership.
Go back.
You wouldn't know.
This guy's like, I'm sorry, what? Go back a little further so we get the context. Listen to him pontificating about how, the philosophy he espouses in his new hour. And this guy who doesn't know him, the fighter, I'm blanking on his name, I apologize. But he's like, and this is a lecture you're giving at a college, or
that it's called the Apple, and in the Garden of Eden, that was the fall of man. So it's been pretty cool.
And that's fun. A comedy special you're talking about.
Yeah, I shot it in at the mothership.
Lest anyone think it was a depressing sermon.
So I'm supposed to laugh at this.
And Mr. Callen, just so I have the right mentality, these are jokes you're telling about the fall of man and comparing it to apples in the Bible or something?
These are going to be funny.
This guy's quite a salesman.
This guy's punch drunk and he's like, where's the laughs?
He's like, yeah, he's fucking like Jake LaMotta. You jar him awake and he says the same joke again.
Next we have Thinking Man.
Okay, so this is what really got me, and this is what I'm talking about. Where this is what Marc Maron is angry about, and this is where it's like, I get it. Mark, I get why this annoys you. I think your anger is misdirected. Yeah, but this I understand pissing you off.
I don't think anyone's argued that exists. He's just pointing at his guns at the wrong guy.
I agree. Yeah. So but I guess Maron's point would be, this is what happens when Joe Rogan gets as successful as he is. It's a trickle-down effect where now we suffer through Bryan Callen. So, Mark, if that's your point, I might have to be with you after we watch this.
Would reading books help my ass fucking think more?
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Yes.
Just ask me.
Books are the nectar of the mind, young man.
I just read Goodnight Moon.
I gotta give credit to this guy for setting him up like that. Ah, yes, the magistry of literature. That's what you need, my young friend. All right, so let's watch Hillary Swank go into this black school and teach these kids.
Reading's everything, bro. Reading. Why? Why is reading everything? Because it allows you.
He is talking like this is a fucking lecture.
Why is reading everything? He's writing on a chalkboard. R, E. What does the R stand for? Research.
He underlines it in period.
To immerse yourself in the best that's been thought and said. And remember this about a book. I'm a big fan of novels. Okay.
Books have many words, but more than that, they have ideas.
You control the library, you control information.
Go back a little bit. I want to hear Bryan say this. This is maybe the douchiest sentence in human history. Remember this about books. Bryan's going to teach us something about books in general.
Allows you to immerse yourself in the best that's been thought and said. And remember this about a book. I'm a big fan of novels. Okay. And start slow. You don't have to read fucking Tolstoy. Don't be reading War and Peace and shit.
You guys aren't going to be at my level. You guys, of course, don't have the brain power that you start small.
At first, read stuff by Jack Carr, whatever it might be, just so you get a sense of character development and stuff like that. And then you can move on to other stuff.
Bryan's reading them, Oh, the Places You'll Go.
The other guy's like, I can't believe I look up to this guy right now. He's just off screen.
Like, man, I'm sorry. or he's like, wow, more genius. I didn't know there was any more left in there.
Fiction. And one of the things about a book, Mike, is that a book is typically the author's argument for how one should behave in the world. Like you get exposed to different ideas and different thoughts. You get exposed to
humoring him.
And that fighter's like, wow, he remembered my name.
I don't mean to keep pausing this. Go back a little. I'm sorry if we're stepping on it. We're just leading to Bryan putting on a do-rag and rapping Shakespeare to these guys.
He's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like when I get someone in a Kimura lock.
I'll tell you where gangster rap really started, and that was Bill Shakespeare.
Or whatever it might be, just so you get a sense of character development and stuff like that. And then you can move on to other stuff. You can also read nonfiction. And one of the things about a book is that
what's nonfiction, Bryan? You can also, these are adults he's talking to, by the way. Now you can also read nonfiction. Remember, we learned about fiction. Well, this is not that. Oh, they're taking down notes.
Book is typically the author's argument for how one should behave in the world. Like you get exposed to different ideas and different thoughts. You get exposed to the idea that, people have thought about these questions way before us. That's why I'm a big fan of philosophy. You read the Greeks. If you read Socrates, you read Plato, you read Seneca. What you do is, and it's not fucking lofty intellectual shit. It ain't. But what you do is you go, bro, these guys were thinking about.
He's trying to talk down to their level. It ain't intellectual shit, bro.
He's doing the hand on the side of the head. He's doing the Steve Jobs pose right now.
Now, you fellas probably like Tupac and Biggie, but I'll tell you who's really chill, and that was Socrates.
Let me tell you, my friend, Plato, it's not just a toy.
Maybe the realest G of all was Aristotle. Jackass talking down to these guys. I give these guys credit. Either they think Bryan's a genius or they're just placating him, and they're like, so these guys put words on a page and you re-add them. No, it's read.
No, it's Riyadh. It's Riyadh. We go there.
That's a whole different comedian. I wasn't invited.
Since 3,500 years ago. Holy shit. The responsibility of being a complete human being, you know, so you watch what happens, Mike, when you got to retire and you're faced with this, you're going to be faced with this chaos, which is, well, who am I now? I'm not a fighter. Oh shit. I got to reinvent myself. I don't know how I identify. That's terrifying, but you're not the first.
That's where you can meet my old friend, Books. Brendan comes in dressed as a book. Well, hello there, Mr. Callen.
He's got a Scholastic Book Fair costume on.
I just like the idea of Bryan going through different wigs to teach these guys about authors.
Oh, he wants to be fucking Colin Quinn so bad.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. Where he's like, let me tell you a little about the Constitution, fellas.
Aren't you supposed to make this funny, though?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that is like Colin, if Colin was interviewed the same way, where it's like, Colin, tell us, I don't fucking know. I just wrote an hour about it. I'm not a fucking expert, you know?
Right.
Like, and Colin is truly a genius. Like Colin, a comedic genius. Like he truly is very smart and well-versed in a lot of this stuff and able to articulate points and actual like lessons about this stuff. But he's not so pompous that he will force it onto you. You know what I mean? He's not going to present it as I have all the answers. Bryan is a very dumb guy and will do that. Like some of these guys, and this is what I think sticks in Maron's craw, where I understand. It's like, just say you're a fucking actor, man. You were in Old School in The Hangover, you know? Just say you're an actor. It's fine. You don't have to be this philosophical.
Reinvent myself? I don't know how I identify. That's terrifying. But you're not the first person to go through that, bro.
That's the end of it.
You're not the first person to go through that, man.
I'd love to have Bryan Callen life coach.
What's sad? He's like, you're not the first person to go through that. You know who else I know that went through that? Brendan Schaub. No, please.
Hey, if you retire now, in 6 months, you'll have a Showtime special.
No, I've seen how that plays out.
I'm surprised he didn't real coolly be like, you'd be surprised. Just hit him with it.
My name's Charles Dickens, and I'm here to say Bryan's just teaching these guys literature through rap.
He's gonna do a new movie called Freedom Comedy Writers.
Well, the first lesson is, son, seize the day. Bryan hands him a book and is like, now tear the pages out.
No, he's gonna give everyone a book, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, thanks, Mr. Callen." They're gonna start going through it, and they're gonna, Mr. Callen, there's nothing on these pages, and he's like, "That's right. Why don't you put a little bit of you on those pages?"
But there will be.
Clueless Boomer, $10 says, all this time Callen was wanting to give a TED talk.
Hey, really? Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to do.
That was how it was coming across.
Yeah.
We have anything else? This is the last clip here.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it. Oh, I forgot there's more.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let's see how these guys close up shop here. Get off of this topic.
I believe it. I look forward to it, man. And I'm sure Mac's gonna ask you more, but I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure to get to know you.
It's my honor, brother. It's my honor. Anytime.
Cheers,
anytime.
bro.
Yeah, bro.
You're the man, Callen.
Oh, Mac, you're good? You don't have one more?
Dude, my number, I enjoyed the conversation, man. And my number one was right before you hopped on here. You said you want to make your own jokes. And I was like, perfect. I love the breakdown from Callen. Dude, this was just it was a pleasure. Thank you for your time,
You're
Bryan.
a legend, Bryan. Thank you, brother.
He's like, listen, I don't know that much about you. I'm sure Mac here has a ton to ask you about. And he's like, nope. That's about it.
No.
Go find 2 other black guys to talk down to.
Tough.
I enjoyed it. It was a fun Callen appearance.
It was disgusting. Shall we go to Maron?
Might as well, right? So for anyone that's watching these clips, if you watch the clips later in the week, just go watch that Bryan Callen segment also, because there's this thing where it's like, it really bugs me about internet outrage or comment sections, whatever, where it's like you're either for or against a person. And I don't believe that's true. Like Marc Maron makes points that I agree with. His delivery of it is so misguided. Where again, we've taken about a month off of Maron versus Rogan, but Maron has inspired it again. It's crazy that he's so bitter about Joe Rogan. Maron's been going on every platform talking all kinds of shit about Rogan. Rogan finally broke and was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. So he talked about it twice, I guess. He talked about it with Callen and then again with Schulz. And then, to my knowledge, Rogan hasn't really brought it up again. It was just this thing where it's like, this guy's been poking me for a year. Finally, I snapped.
A year is generous, by the way.
Right. I mean, really, a decade. But yeah, like it really got really heavy the last year or so. And Rogan finally snapped and responded. And now Maron's bitter about that. It's crazy. It's crazy to watch this fucking guy. He's just so angry, and he practices none of what he preaches. Or on his show, he's constantly like, man, I've learned so much. Like when he wrapped that show up, he's like, it's crazy to think of all the lessons I've learned in dealing with people. But then with those people, he just reverts right back to how he was before he talked to him. So let's hear him. He's on the Side Boob podcast, which is, I guess, these like younger comics that are lesser known comics at the Comedy Store. They do a podcast out of the Comedy Store. So they had Marc Maron on, and at the very end of the episode, Joe Rogan's name, of course, comes up.
I have a question. Like, it seemed like 2015 is when like things started to ramp up, because I know there was like Dark Ages, and then there was like the Rogan sphere kind of came in here and kind of ramped things up a little. What was your place at the Comedy Store during those years when it seemed to be like maybe a little more packed around here, or just like Tom Segura, Burr, Kreischer, all these guys like living here rather than like,
this guy is just winding this motherfucker up with this question.
You know what? Because I think you're right, because he's being very careful. The question is about the Comedy Store, the history of the Comedy Store.
But he said Rogan sphere and named very specific people.
He doesn't mention Marc Maron being there with Kiddison or Dice, or he's like, in the history of the Comedy Store, Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Burr, Kreischer. Do you have any thoughts on that?
going to Austin,
I don't know. I was in Boston doing shows when Rogan started. So I've known that guy when he started. And I never liked him really.
Yeah.
And look, we were coworkers. I mean, there's this idea that we are a community, and we are. And like it always felt tense to me with him.
Hold on, right there too. Maron says something that's very interesting. He goes on this thing where like he hates the idea that these guys are all friends and kind of help each other further their careers. Maron really hates that. But even in that sentence, he's like, there's this idea that we're a community, and we are. It's like, and by the way, the amount of people that like Maron has promoted through his podcast, are all of them funny? You know what I mean? Like, is Maron proud fucking Dane Cook got more eyeballs on him because of his appearance with Maron, or Carlos Mencia, or any of these people? Like, that's the thing about Maron, is he does not practice what he preaches. He's like, well, we are a part of a community. I just hate the community.
It's a typical sports jock versus like band dork.
And to his somewhat credit, he goes on to kind of admit that. So let's hear it.
Was it his comedy, or was it like a vibe?
Yeah. I just didn't think that comedy was for the jocks,
Yeah. Not for me, brother.
It was just that, like, he came in as a kickboxing champion, and then the whole Fear Factor thing.
He didn't come in as a kickboxing champion. I don't believe, I did not see Rogan in the early 90s, but I do not believe he was brought on stage as, ladies and gentlemen, kickboxing champion Joe Rogan. It was not that popular a sport. They brought in Rogan to comment because the show, the sport wasn't popular.
Right.
They were bringing in other more popular people to be a part of it. So like this idea that Rogan came in as a kickboxer, it's a silly idea. And I've heard Louis talk about it too. Louis had a similar philosophy. This idea that comedy is like for the weirdos, whatever. I don't mind that theory, but sometimes weirdos can be good looking or in shape or what, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to, Maron is like this progressive guy who's like, I'd rather just generalize people and be angry about it.
Right.
Again, if Rogan isn't your cup of tea comedically, that's fine. He's never done anything to Maron. And we went back and listened to Maron's appearance with Rogan. I should say Rogan's appearance with Maron on WTF, where like they get along perfectly fine. And you realize all their problems are coming from Maron's hostility.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
And then he co-opted, this idea that he was somehow, representing Hicks, and that bothered me. That, but, look,
hold on. What? Bill Hicks, he means, not Southerners.
No, I know what he meant, but like,
so Rogan's a fan of Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
And I'm sure to some degree, Rogan thinks his style is modeled after Bill Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you asked Rogan, who are your influences, he would say Bill Hicks, unquestionably.
Definitely.
That means literally nothing.
No.
There's not one fan that says, you know who I think the two smartest comedians of the last 35 years are? Bill Hicks and Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like there's no one that puts them in the same category. Even if you like, and by the way, Joe's podcast, clearly influenced by Hicks.
Yes.
That's not a question. Of course it is. So to say someone is influenced by someone, that's a reason for you to be angry at them for 30 years. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like where it's, when we'll get comments on this, where it's like, oh, you're ball washing for Rogan because people are either pro or anti in society, at least online now. People are either for you or against you. They love and adore you, or they hate and despise you. There's never room for me being or someone like me being like, yeah, Rogan, like I don't love Rogan's stand-up, but like he's not all bad. I enjoy his podcast. Here's how most people, and I think like a large percentage of Rogan's podcast, this is how they listen to it. I think similar to me, where you listen when there's a guest on that you like because you want to hear them, and you usually don't get all the way through it.
Yeah.
Or when someone alerts you to part of the podcast you should listen to. For example, with this podcast, like Tom Segura being on there, I checked out because I saw that he talked about Riyadh and some of that other stuff. So like that's where I pop into it. I think that's the majority of Rogan listeners. And there are some people that listen no matter what because they like Joe's interviewing style. That's also perfectly fine. But there is not this league of people that are like, I do everything Joe Rogan says no matter what. And those people that do exist like that follow Rogan, they're rubes. They're morons that would do that with whoever you put them in front of that connected with them. Like you can't get mad at this lower echelon of people that follow what Joe Rogan says just because you don't like Joe Rogan, because you have to realize there's people like that with you, Mark. Like there's people that do that with Maron, where it's like they're just miserable all the time and they have cats and they have a bunch of rivals in their life because they've modeled their life after Marc Maron and they listen to every episode of his show.
He's a real comment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
I'll go back. He does give Rogan kind of a compliment.
I just didn't think that
Off
comedy
stage.
was for the jocks,
Yeah. Not
So-
for me, brother.
It was just that, like, he came in as a kickboxing champion and then the whole fear factor thing. It's just like, to me,
Yeah.
and then he co-opted, this idea that he was somehow, representing Hicks, and that bothered me. That, but look, he paid his dues. He's a real comment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the sphere of men that he attracted to were the opposite of me.
Mhm.
Yes.
And, I never got into comedy.
Okay, Mark, what about the people that are attracted to you? There are people that disagree with them and don't like what they represent. Should they go nonstop bitching on every platform about how that's terrible for society?
Yes.
Well, Craig thinks they should. Mm-hmm. But Mark doesn't understand. He represents the same thing Rogan does. They just don't agree politically.
Right.
Like they're the same guy for totally different audiences.
And I wouldn't even say that's 100% true. The politically thing. That was a recent development.
Well, I'll put it this way. Of the two guys, and you want to talk about enlightened, he's like, oh, he co-opted this Hicks thing. Joe Rogan is much more unbiased politically than Marc Maron.
For sure.
Marc Maron, and by the way, Marc Maron started his special bitching about Trump. If you want to do something like, if you hate Trump so much and you think he's the downfall of society, whatever, go on all these podcasts and talk about Trump. Every single one, he's talked about Joe Rogan. Like he has made Joe Rogan the face of whatever movement he's talking about in society. And I just don't feel that Rogan represents that. Even I listened to Rogan when James McCann was on. That fit my formula. It was a guy I liked, so I listened when James McCann was on. By the way, James McCann is one of those guys who has a Rogan voice. Do you know what I mean by that?
He talks in a similar cadence.
It's well, not even similar to Joe, but it's like, James McCann is this fun, like he's got this high pitch to like Australian accent, and then when he's on Rogan, hello Joe, thank you for having me. It's much more quiet and subdued.
Right. But, I know what you're saying now.
Yeah. I'm in this room. I have to treat it with respect.
Yeah, like when Shane was first on, and he was like,
yeah.
Hi, Mr. Rogan.
But James McCann was on there, and they were having a really interesting conversation, kind of about this. And they weren't talking about Maron, but it was just about this idea that like Joe is bad for society. And Joe did something that none of these people believe he does, where Joe is talking about, he's like, listen, and he goes, I'm guilty of this. There are a lot of people that like read an article or a headline or see a YouTube video and they believe it because it's convincing. And then that is a theory they have on that. And Joe goes, and I do that all the time. I've never heard a cult leader talk like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think in Jonestown, Jim Jones stood up and was like, fellas, this is what I'm guilty. This is one of my big flaws. So like Maron is trying to put this thing, like this tribalist thing that Rogan is leading a cult of people, when it's like, he's not that. Get mad at Bryan Callen or get mad at these people that you think are falling into that. But this anger that he has for Rogan, it's just misguided.
To be hang out with the bros.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a lone wolf, really. And that was the other thing I learned with Kennison is that you never become part of an entourage.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I never wanted
to. Tony Hinchcliffe.
They seem to respect me. And Joe and I had moments where we had problems, but I did his podcast early on, and because we were all doing each other's podcasts, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Is that the podcast world was happening, and we all had them, and we were doing each other's podcasts. I mean, Rogan on my podcast, he divulges stuff about himself that he never did again.
Yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah, I listened. It was
about
good.
His dad and stuff,
Yeah.
It was kind of a unique thing. And
For
I
sure.
did his, and I told the Kennison story because he liked hearing about that crazy shit.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're definitely in each other's orbit. And during that time, my feeling was like, this is not my audience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's too many of them.
Who gives
And
a
it's
shit?
all over the place. So
Isn't that the whole thing? Like you're supposed to win over other audiences. It's why certain comedians, like coming up, comedians play black rooms and alt rooms and all kinds of shit. And you find your voice. If your audience isn't there and you don't like performing for them, fucking go to Largo or wherever the fuck you people go, Mark.
Performing for bros is not a great matchup.
No. Yeah.
I'd rather just have tourists.
Yeah.
Who are like, what are we watching? As opposed to
Don't speak.
Here's the thing.
fine.
Here's the ultimate issue I have with it. If one of these guys, if Andrew Schulz or Tony Hinchcliffe or one of these guys said, yeah, the Comedy Store, it really became like a lot of like people like Marc Maron's audience, and I just don't like performing for that crowd, people would call them hateful, bigoted. Like it would be this whole thing. But Maron's like, yeah, I just don't like performing for that audience. Well, then don't. Who gives a shit? No one has a problem with you not doing that. No one would have bitched that Marc Maron's not at the Comedy Store enough. The ultimate problem is if other people did that about your audience or about other audiences, then it would be a hateful, problematic thing.
personality,
malignant masculinity that was inhabiting the place. I've been sort of at odds with those people since probably the beginning of time. Yeah, that they're, and this sort of replicates high school in a lot of ways.
Just the archetype of,
but only for Mark. Even those guys like Callen and those guys, like the meatheads that he's talking about, I don't think they had a problem with Marc Maron until like the last year when he's really dug his heels in on this stuff.
Right. And it's like, yeah, you're going at my friend. I'm not going to be like for it unless, you're Santino.
Jeff Dye, who Marc Maron claimed is the only person he's ever had a problem with, which was funny. But Jeff Dye, like when Maron said that, where he's like, yeah, Jeff Dye he's one of these guys. He just has a problem. He was an asshole. Jeff Dye was like, I was a fan of yours. You were rude to me, and I was disappointed because I like you so much. I wanted your acceptance. Like that's the thing that Maron, and he has his own issues that he does talk about, but like part of it is he's never been okay with his spot in comedy, where he has become a legend. Like when we talk about Maron, we get a lot of comments like, "Oh, he was never funny," whatever. That's not true. Like Maron's a funny guy. He in his own right is an established comedian, even if you don't like him. Like he's had a very solid comedy career and he has been funny before. So like this idea, like Maron doesn't understand that he was respected by a lot of these guys. And he's like, oh, they all hate me because they're jocks. It's actually like kind of a sad thing to watch where he's like, it's high school. And it's like, yeah, but only for you really.
Presents a little.
Yeah. But what he definitely represents, but like, I know, like I don't have anything against those guys in a lot of ways. And I don't have anything against, Bird or Tom or, it's just when it gets to be like what really just started to happen was that this sort of idea that these guys were free thinkers or on the, really pushing the edge of comedy just because of their need to, use certain words and marginalize people. That just became annoying because
no one thinks that about Bert. No one has ever said that about Bert. Bert Kreischer's fans don't say that.
Right.
Bert's not trying to be that. Like, so why lump him in with that group? But his problem is like, oh, they're trying to be enlightened free thinkers. I'll tell you what happened. And I've heard a lot of comedians, even comedians I like, I've heard them saying this recently. Finish out that clip. I don't want to go back and let me hear this take before I trample all over it.
And was that this sort of idea that these guys were free thinkers or on the, really pushing the edge of comedy just because of their need to, use certain words and marginalize people. And that just became annoying because for me, that is not the edge. There's no real risk in that.
Yes.
But a lot of this has to do with culture and politics and, my opinion of what anti-woke means and what it became politically. Yeah, I've been public about that stuff. So, it was a reasonable criticism that I'll stand behind. But ultimately when they had taken over the store, it really just became about like, well, these aren't organic audiences.
Yeah.
These are.
Well, okay. I want to get to that, but I want to address the other point first. So this idea that what Rogan and his crew stands for is just wanting to say fag and retard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people have made it into now. And what I always point to is Shane Gillis. It's the best example because Shane was able to pull out of it, and Shane didn't change who he was. Shane kept his head down, just kept doing the material he was already doing, and became a great comedian and had his own success despite getting fired by SNL. And his introduction, by the way, Shane's introduction to the world was the racist comedian, the guy who hates Asian people or whatever the fuck. Like he lost a job at SNL because he's racist. And Anthony Jeselnik came on and said, don't worry about that guy. You're never going to hear from him again. And Nikki Glazer said he should apologize. And all these comedians turned on him. And Shane didn't change who he was. Shane kept his head down and just kept plugging along and became a fucking arena act. And so that is what people were fighting against, was that idea. Comedians losing jobs, having their names, fucking slandered, like being labeled as racist or sexist or whatever based on jokes. And there's been this thing, and I've heard like Patton Oswalt talk about it, and Anthony Jeselnik and these guys, where they're like, hey, there's always been rules in comedy. Your job is to work around them, which is absolutely true. But what would happen back in the day is censors wouldn't allow things on the air. And artistic types would fight against that. Writers and comics and everyone else would fight against that and try to move the line a little further along. And then when the line got to a certain point and the internet made it out of control, those powers that be said, oh, well, then we'll just ruin them and make people think that they're racist, when that wasn't the case. And I think Mark would acknowledge a guy like Shane Gillis is not a racist, even though he was labeled that. So now they're saying like, oh, they just want to say fag and retard. And they're looking at Kill Tony, because Tony will go, we can say anything we want here. This is the only place where you can be free. Okay, we get past that. Tony is a pro wrestling heel. Like he's all glitz and glamour, you know? Like he's putting on a show. But what Rogan was speaking out against was a very real thing. And people were losing their jobs. And now this idea where it's like, oh, you just want to go after trans people? No, that's not what anyone was ever fighting for. It might be what some last few people had when it felt like that was the only thing left to talk about. But like there was a real argument happening that I think Maron would be on their side for. That's the crazy part about it.
Like this place is very vulnerable to charismatic people taking it over.
Yes.
You know, certainly people who sell tickets.
Yes.
And it was that way with Sam, but at least then it was just weirdos. You know, it was like when Sam was the king, it was just porn stars and rock stars. And
that's
like
cool.
There was the melding of like the whole metal scene up on Sunset, and they would come around.
That's cool.
Not 50 dudes wearing tap out t-shirts, stuff like that.
It wasn't those guys.
It
was rock and roll, and it was drugs, and it was porn, and it was
awesome.
Hollywood in the late 80s. It was
That's
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a different vibe. Not, it was all destructive.
That's why Maron's clamoring for these good old days. And he's like, it was all terrible back then. And it is the exact same thing. And now instead of drugs, instead of fucking coke, it's TRT. You know, it's just a different group of weirdos that have found a community. And he's mad that like Joe Rogan and Tom Segura sell tickets. Believe me, after listening to Segura on Rogan, I'm mad Tom sells tickets too. It's very annoying.
Did you watch the special?
I haven't yet.
I've heard nothing but terrible things. Like literally, it's getting universally crushed.
As have I, which is why I don't want to watch it right now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is I could have told you that. You know what I mean? Like before it came out, I could have recited every review of it.
But the thing is, it's like if so, Bill Burr pisses me off to no end.
Yeah,
I would say but I'll watch his comedy and still laugh at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is what I say. The problem, and it's why I try to have different takes than a lot of these other channels, because I think like Podcast Cringe does a good job. But when I see a video with Bert Kreischer's name in the title, I know what the take is going. I don't have to watch any of it. I know what he's going to say about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that becomes the ultimate problem with a lot of this is like, by the way, this is where Maron's wrong, where it's like, oh, it just became this thing where everyone loves Rogan and Segura and Bert. Look at YouTube. Look at a lot of the people that started out as fans of them, and look at how they talk about them now. So it's not unilateral, you know.
Everyone hates Tom. Everyone doesn't like Bert Kreischer, but they're almost like,
oh, people hate Bert more than Tom. You got to look at some of these. People hate Bert even more.
But more people like Bert than outwardly like Tom. I feel
that
like
might be true.
Tom universally gets hate now.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I would say that's true. Let's go on to the next clip, because this is where Maron starts to get into like conspiracy theories about this.
But like, Rogan, when he tried to, character assassinate me for an hour a few weeks ago.
I saw that.
Mark, what are you doing on every? You can't do that. You can't cry poor me, Joe Rogan talked about. You've gone on every podcast and basically begged Rogan to react.
But it's not even that he said, Rogan talked about me. He said he character assassinated me.
As if Joe lied or something.
Yeah, or as if he hasn't been doing that for a decade.
And by the way, I guess the one like lie, quote unquote, would be a joke. I think someone told Joe that he believed, where Joe was like, that Marc Maron has the record for single tickets. Like all his fans are like losers. That felt like something Tim Dillon told him as a joke that Joe believed. But
You know, you're probably right. That's probably exactly who told him.
right. But anyway, like it was not a character assassination. This is what people do, and we're about to talk about another guy that does this later in the program. But this is what people do that don't really have an argument, where it's like I subtly corrected Joe Rogan, and then he character assassinated me. You know what I mean? It's this manipulation of vocabulary where you're like, I did nothing wrong, and then they did everything wrong to me, but you're doing the same thing to each other, actually.
Whole thing. I just saw bits and pieces.
You must like that you're living it.
I hate that too. I fucking hate that. I only saw like a second of it.
Oh yeah, that's all these guys only see 1 second of a thing and then always manage to react. And Rogan is guilty of that too, where they're like,
I believe him though.
Someone sent it to me. I didn't even, but here's all my thoughts about a lot of it.
I could see Rogan putting it on, watching 2 seconds and getting the gist and shutting it off.
Well, Maron does seem, I don't know, I'm sure they all watch shit about them, but Maron does seem to dwell on it and know every angle.
I will say, let's put it this way, like, if pick someone we've talked about, if Aaron Imholt was talking about us on his show, we wouldn't be like, we only saw like 2 seconds of it.
I didn't even watch it, but I'm going to react to it.
we saw the whole fucking thing.
Of course, yeah.
Twice. And Maron talking about this guy for a decade, he finally responds. He's like, I only watched a second of it.
Here's the dishonesty that a lot of these guys have. If Aaron talked about me and just like lied and made shit up or whatever, I'd be like, oh, nice. We get to talk about that on Sunday.
Right.
That's funny to me. These guys are just dishonest, where it's like Maron loves that Rogan reacted to him because now that juices up another 6 months of Maron going on podcasts and bitching about Joe Rogan.
Yeah, the only person I don't want to talk about is Red Bar because I know he's going to find something that
he's going to hate it. How could he not find? What do you mean on this show? How could he not find something?
No, he'll find something about me that only I've thought to myself and like point it out.
Yeah.
His head,
yeah,
a lot, though, because you know,
a while.
He went like months and months, maybe years without talking about you, and one day he's like, you know what? Fuck it. And he just got in on it.
They all did, and it was the day after I ended my podcast, which was kind of
whoa. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest. I think that was a complete coincidence. Like, I think Maron did like 3 podcasts that we did. Bad Friends. There were a couple others that Maron was on like around that time because he was promoting the last episode. And so I think it just happened to be, and I don't know that it was the day after, by the way. I don't know that timeline is 100% accurate, but let's say it was. I don't think Rogan was like, oh, good, his podcast is ending. Now he can't talk about me anymore. Like now I can just go at him, you know. I'm afraid of Mark. I don't want him to come back at me. And by the way, Maron wasn't doing any of this on his podcast. So it's kind of just an irrelevant detail. Rogan was like, oh, good. You can't bring me up to Judd Apatow now. And by the way, we played his last podcast where Obama was like, you know what I love is Joe Rogan.
That was the best.
He's a great guy.
He like clearly doesn't know anything about Marc Maron, but pretends to be best friends with him.
I'll tell you who's good, Joe Rogan.
What do you have to say, Mark?
Fucking Mike right now.
And you know, and also like Schulz took a shot at me. DeStefano took a shot at me. You know, and they with Schulz.
And Maron doesn't listen to any of this, by the way. He just knows every person that took a shot at him.
They took a 1-sentence shot at me in a 4-hour podcast, but I found it.
Yeah. And again, like what Schulz said wasn't even really, it was just shot at Santino. Where it's like, you're just going to let Maron's going to bitch about your boy, like a guy who really helped your career, and you're not going to push back at all? And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. It wasn't even really a shot at Maron that Schulz took.
But it all happened like within days of each other. I don't know if there was a group text or
I think
WhatsApp message.
Today's a day.
I think everyone's just fed up with your horse shit, Mark.
Maron was like, please talk about me over and over again. And then he's like, man, it's so weird that they all talked about me on the same week.
I think it more had to do with like his special.
His special came out. A lot of stuff led to them finally talking about him. It's
right.
Like Maron, this would be like now, today, if Stuttering John reacted to me. And I was just like, oh, That's kind of out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Stuttering John starts talking about this show, and then we're like, man, he's really character assassinating us.
Whoa, geez, John. Taking it. The segment we just did, Bryan Callen. If Bryan Callen did, like, we've spent hours. It would be kind of crazy if Callen saw our stuff and talked about it.
But if he reacted to us crucifying his special and literally just crushed us for 2 hours, I think we would just
we asked for it. Yes,
it's fair.
It's not a character assassination. We were asking for it. It's not this idea that it's like where did that come from? It's just childish.
Probably like Bryan Callen as a person too.
Yeah, he seems a little douchey for my taste, but
I feel like that's when the cameras are on, Mike. Yeah,
sure.
Pod's over. Let's hit him.
We've been counting the minutes.
Like, you know what Rogan was saying. Like a lot of it was nothing I hadn't said myself, and I don't think it made him look particularly good because he did research.
Well, you said it yourself. How did Rogan like cross this line where it's like, and it's all stuff I say about myself.
This thing is true about me. Then Rogan said it, but I don't think it made him look good.
That was a little much. Rogan saying this thing that I agree with, that crossed the line.
And he's the king of the do your own research crew. And I think, after all is said and done, what bothered me the most was he did get some facts wrong as people who do their own research. I can take the hit, and if he wants to make me look, like if he wants to call me mentally ill or bitter or sad or, but there was this idea that like he said that anybody that I was friends with who became more successful than me, I would not be friends with them anymore.
Yeah.
Which isn't fundamentally true.
Yeah.
And then he said it happened with Louis.
I think he says that's not fundamentally true, meaning like there's truth to it.
Well, listen to the examples he gives because one of them doesn't, it's hard to argue with, unfortunately.
Successful than me, I would not be friends with them anymore.
Yeah.
Which isn't fundamentally true.
Yeah.
And then he said it happened with Louis, it happened with Hedberg. It never happened with Hedberg.
Yeah.
Hedberg and I were fine.
All right, Craig, get Mitch Hedberg on the line. Let's ask him.
Let's see if it's true.
How the fuck do we know? How is Joe going to do his own research into that? The man is dead.
His own world.
Yes.
but the thing is like there is a truth to, as I said before, about the idea of being part of someone else's success is a dead end street in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the Austin guys have done all right with it because they created a community, and it was more of they created their own show business. But if you're too close to somebody who gets very famous and then you're like, oh, I'll go open for them. I was never that guy. I'm not going to fly in anyone's private plane.
Yes.
And I'm not going to open for a peer, really.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have the ego to do it because
No.
I didn't want to be part.
No, he's got the ego to be like, this isn't about me right now.
Yeah, he's made all of this about himself. He's talking about his ego. And again, where it's like, I think that's my ultimate problem with some of this is like, you should make fun of Kill Tony and Tony Hinchcliffe and a lot of the ridiculous stuff that happens on that show. And the fact that it's bigger than other shows that I like, the idea to me that Kill Tony is bigger than Are You Garbage makes no sense to me. But that's my personal taste,
It's a better show. Like if Netflix continue, are they still doing it? Is there more?
Yeah, I believe there are more to come. Yeah.
Then it's a perfect Netflix show. It's not a people sitting talking. It's like a thing happening to watch.
Right. Exactly. But because it's the biggest show in the world now, people should make fun of it. Those are the shows they should be making fun of course.
Yes.
My issue with it is the idea, like he just said, where he's like, well, in Austin, they created their own showbiz. As if like, if you move to Austin, you become the biggest thing in the world. My problem with it is not giving these guys credit. Like you think Joe Rogan stole $500 million from Spotify, and you think Tony Hinchcliffe stole these viewers that he organically got on YouTube, and he stole money from Netflix. You think it's thievery. You can't give them credit for building something. It's like, oh, they moved to Austin, so they got big. It's like, no, they actually built something, and you can make fun of it, and you can think it's douchey or a shitty show, and it's not comedy, and you can think all of that. But you do have to give them credit for building it. He's acting like it was given to them, and that the people in the audience or the people watching at home are like, oh, well, this is an Austin podcast, so I'm legally obligated to watch.
Well, he wonders why his friends aren't around anymore, or people don't like him anymore. It's because he just like isolates himself.
Right.
And then he's like, why won't they talk to me anymore?
Yes. Yes. Whoa. I don't want to be part of a community anyways.
Hey, Mark, do you want to come do this show with me? I would never be caught dead on the same show as you.
Yeah. And he's like, I'll never go to Austin. Meanwhile, even though Rogan hates him, Maron would be welcome with open arms at the mothership. I truly believe that.
I think you would have to, for sure, do his podcast first.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then,
probably.
And then judging by how that goes, maybe he would bring him there.
But here's where Maron's a phony. If they did that and they got along, Maron would be on Kill Tony that night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where Maron is it's like he just wants to be accepted by these guys, I think. And you heard it in that WTF appearance with Rogan.
I wish he would go, because he would go, and he loves the Comedy Store so much, and Rogan basically modeled his shit off of the good parts of the Comedy Store.
Yeah, yeah.
So you go in, he would love the club. He would love that there's a bar called Mitzi's and like all this shit. And he's just too.
But then he would hate it because Joe Rogan created it.
Right.
He'd be very mad and bitter about that.
Exactly. But it sounds like he would fit in the green room there.
I'm sure he would. It is a beautiful club.
I know, but it sounds like you have to be half a cunt to like go in the green room.
I guess, yeah.
Their success, because it's, if you get used to that, then you're brought along.
Yeah.
But once that ends, where are you?
Kat, you said you wanted me to open for you this year. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah. No, but I understand. I understand what
I like how that guy just completely made fun of Mark right to his face.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is about being brought along. It's like, okay, Schulz and Tony were brought along by Rogan, I guess is what he's saying. Now look at what they've built after being brought along.
Right.
That's not Rogan doing that. Again, you can say it sucks. You can say Flagrant suck. They laugh too much at each other's jokes and it's douchey, and Kill Tony props up comedians that aren't at a level where they should be playing clubs, never mind theaters yet. Like, you can criticize all of that. But Maron is saying Rogan gave them those views and that success and that money. And that's simply not true.
Gave him an opportunity, and those people performed well enough that eyeballs stuck.
It's like being mad at Carson for waving guys over to the couch. And if you saw
the idea of commercials.
If you saw Carson's success rate, I'm sure it's not 100%.
Correct.
I'm sure there's plenty of douchey comics that Carson was like, "Get over here, kid. You deserve a shot."
No, but like these people go with Rogan to promote themselves. It's an opportunity for them to perform, to build their audience. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
You think that you lose some of your individuality if you are constantly on that?
Yeah, and I was willing to be nobody than be that guy with that guy.
Yeah. And so,
Amen.
You weren't invited.
Okay, Eagle.
Boy,
no one invited you.
You can't sit with us.
Oh, you mentioned that, but you're obviously very successful, but I don't ever see you as someone with like every time you walk around the store, like you live
people misread me. I'm pretty humble.
Yeah.
But I think I'm innately, it's not even competitive, and it's not like, oh yeah, Joe called me jealous. I'm not jealous of anyone's success. I just want mine to be at par.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like when Maron kind of admits that, but there's never the other shoe never drops. Like, he'll admit that, and I'll be like, hey, I'm jealous and bitter, but then he'll go on these same rants where it's like, no, it's a societal issue.
Right.
And whatever that means. I mean, you can think in terms of numbers or whatever, money.
Yeah.
But like, it's not
bank accounts offshore.
But like, as time goes on, I'm fine, and you have to accept your limitations, and what you do is what is yours.
Yeah. So
the ego of it was just like, I just want to be my own guy. And that's what comedy, that's one of what we are solo performers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always the game with me. I want to be, who I am and be respected for that. I don't want to.
Well, look at the guy, Joe. If you gave Joe truth serum and said, like, who are the people most, who are you most responsible for having a career? Like, who have you propped up the most? One of those names would be Ari Shaffir, who I think has made 2 of the best specials in the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Particularly like Jew is a masterpiece. And so like Maron is acting like none of these guys do anything. Okay, well, sure, Brian Redband you can say that about. You know what I mean? Like
he's created like every popular podcast.
That's true too. That's where none of this argument really. Brendan Schaub. All right, Brendan Schaub.
Here we go.
But even that example doesn't really work because people saw through Brendan pretty quickly. And look at him now. look at how he's constantly in battles with people, telling them he's supposed to be successful. You know, so ultimately, I think that's what Maron is talking about, or that's the type of guy. But everyone sees through that. Everyone's with you, Mark. Go to PF Chang's. You know, you'll fit right in.
Flatbush Tommy, $5. Elephant Graveyard compared Rogan's Fear to Heaven's Gate in Jonestown. Maron has emphasized how everyone should watch his documentaries. Elephant Pilled.
I watched that, and I was like, everyone told me you have to watch this Elephant Graveyard documentary, and you have to cover it spot on. That's what people said. And then I watched it, and I was like, I think this guy's purposely being over the top. Like, there's no way. You're right. He compared it to like Jonestown, where it's like, how can you watch what's happening and really believe that that's what it is? You know, like unless I'm one of the rubes that has been drinking the Kool-Aid, but I don't believe I am.
Sounds like it.
Maybe I'd be the last to know, I guess.
Shall we with our favorite stuttering friend?
Oh yeah, I was even looking at the time. Like, do you think we're close enough to 1 to just not do this? But no, let's do it. Let's talk about Stuttering John. Yeah. Stuttering John has had quite a week. I haven't been able to cover all of it. I will admit, I haven't fully been invested this week. As I'm usually pretty well versed on what's happening with Stuttering John. For example, there are some things I don't know. Like last I heard from John, he said New Year's Eve would be his final show.
Oh, I heard that one before.
Just last year, actually. The last time I said New Year's Eve, we were talking about John.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was on the last couple days, last 3 days, I think, after New Year's Eve. So it's been on every day in 2026. So I guess that just didn't happen. I don't know if there was a big announcement. I tried to watch a little of there was a big fight with Ashley Cummings and Keanu. I couldn't make heads or tails of what they were mad at each other for. So I just found some of my favorite highlights of this week in John that I thought we could go over, if that's all right with you guys.
So this is Shuli's dad.
It is Shuli's dad, and he's also talking about a lot of other stuff broadly. And again, I'm going to need you guys' help. He's mad at some things I don't quite understand. But the little background I will give you is that last year on New Year's Eve, John called Shuli's father. Do you remember that?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, John called Shuli's dad and was like, Shuli's dad was like in his 80s, I think, or maybe even older.
Oh, I do 100% remember this. Yes.
And John goes, "Do you know your son has been very mean to me?"
Yes.
And the guy's like, "What?" And John's like, "I want you send him to his room.
Put him in the corner."
So, a lot of people now kind of think of it as a New Year's tradition. Hey, John, are we going to call the old man again and bother him on New Year's?
Are you aware of what shirt John's wearing right now in
No.
this video?
No.
It says sarcastic comment loading.
What does that mean?
Oh, he's wearing one of those douchey like Walmart t-shirts.
Oh, that'll show him, John. That's good. Yeah, so that comes up again. And I guess Shuli got ahead of it this year. And that leads off John's anger.
The shitware decides to send me a text. Now, I got to go get my phone because it's not, I don't have it on the computer. I got to find my phone.
You can just tell
I'll show it to you.
Don't worry about
it. No shit. Just give us the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Some point. But it's him posing as his father. But he's using terms that his father would never use. It is so obviously not his father.
I love my son.
Yes.
My son's a tremendous talent.
Yes.
Yes. Am I going to get the call from you tonight? Sorry, I'm just doing Jackie Mason. Not trying to be anti-Semitic shitware.
This is what John does.
It seems to
Shuli's dad is from Israel.
Yes.
And John is like doing an impression of him, but he's so petrified. John's also a liberal, so people do this fun game where, like, John pretends to be a liberal, but he's really not. Like, if you look at any of his values, he's not conservative either. He's just like kind of a scumbag, but he's certainly not like a progressively minded guy.
I think he leans to the right, but just wants free shit.
Right? Yeah, right. Something like that. Yeah. So John just like does an impression of Shuli's dad, who's from Israel. Totally fine by me, but people will be like, "Oh, John, you're being racist," because, and people do that to John because if someone else did that to John, if someone impersonated John's mother, he would accuse them of being racist, you know, or xenophobic or whatever. So John gets into this like pissing contest, but he does this thing where he's like, "I'm doing Jackie Mason, not Shuli's dad." And so, well, why for Shuli's dad would you do Jackie Mason? What's the correlation?
He's like, "I'm not doing Shuli's dad. I'm doing Ari Shafir's dad.
I'm doing the most famously stereotypical Jew I could think of." It's not Shuli's dad, though.
He's doing that voice as he's crawling out of a tunnel in New York. It's Jackie Mason.
John's got a big hat and a beard on.
Yeah, curly sideburns.
This could be anybody.
Bother you when Missy B is anti-Semitic, but I'll do my best, Jackie Mason. So I got a text. Are you going to whine about my son today? Now, first of all,
I'll explain again if John's being nonsensical. I assume Shuli was with his dad, maybe, or has access to his dad's phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
Shuli texted John as his dad and was like, "Am I going to hear from you this New Year's?" Kind of a funny bit,
yeah,
you know. So like, what you would think you could just go, whatever. At worst, you could go, it's that dickhead Shuli. But John needs to talk about something, and he needs to talk about how he's wrong. That's the thing I've really been noticing lately. I mean, I guess I've always noticed it, but the thing that's like really been bugging me about John lately is this manipulation of language, where it's like, you could say Shuli played a joke on me. You know what I mean? Like, Shuli texted me as his dad and said, "Are you going to call me on New Year's?" Which, by the way, was prompted by John actually calling his dad last year.
JFK head chunk in the chat says Jewy Mason.
So John, instead of just saying like, "Oh, Shuli played a joke on me," he goes, "Can you believe the lows that Shuli will stoop to?" And he makes it this thing where he's a victim, because if he just says like, "Oh, these guys played yet another joke on me," no one feels sympathy for him. He needs your sympathy desperately.
You really think Shitway's father is going to use the terms whine? And then
why not?
Goes on with,
what's wrong with that?
You know how those Jews never say whine.
They just do it.
Nag. They don't whine.
They just constantly do it. They never say it though.
They must not know what it is, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing it all the time. There's no way he knows the word for it. And
I just want to point out that Mike and I are just doing a Jackie Mason impression.
Yeah, it's a Jackie Mason bit. It's from Caddyshack 2. You probably haven't seen it.
More terms that is obviously...
John, if Shuli's dad doesn't talk about whining, then what is he doing about Palestine? What do you call that? Just not getting over it.
And, and I responded in true Duke fashion, and I'll read you all of this nonsense. But of course, it's the shitware in a lame attempt at content farming. But this is how desperate.
As John says, making it the focus of his show. A lame attempt at content farming. By the way, we wouldn't know what happened if John wasn't mentioning right now. Maybe Shuli eventually would make it. But if John doesn't respond, there is no content.
If Shuli did bring it up, he would be like, "Yeah, I texted John. It was pretty funny." All right, anyways, what's next?
But Shuli couldn't even do that. If John doesn't respond, what's Shuli going to say? "Oh, I texted John and got nothing out of it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there is no bit if John doesn't make a spectacle out of it. So this is where he is disingenuous. I don't know if he's really dumb or knows what he's doing, But either way, like he is, whether he knows it or not, he is trying to make a spectacle of himself. That's why, like, my pity Dwayne's when Dwayne's my pity the Rocks. my pity Dwayne's. When I hear John talk about like his family and how these people are going after his family, blah 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 blah, I do feel bad for his kids. If his kids have to deal with any shit, if anyone contacts them on fucking Insta, any of that horse shit, I do feel bad for them. But John is the one putting them through it constantly.
And your son is a parasite posing as a human being to make a paltry living off of me.
Think about this. Think about this. Shuli goes, as his dad, goes, "Hey, you going to text my son this year?" And John responds instead of, "Oh, I might. Watch out." John goes, "Your son is an embarrassment. He's a parasite.
He's a piece of human garbage."
Don't you see, John, how it's sort of a response that doesn't add up? You know, it's like telling Artie Lang to drink bleach when he says, "Who's funnier, Larry the Cable Guy or Jay Leno?" It doesn't quite make sense.
Some might say all the humor from John's clip went down the Dwayne.
Well, that's the name of the episode, I guess.
Hija mi pera means your son's my bitch. And then I started walking around the supermarket. I started doing my.
That is called escalation.
Yeah.
This guy had a funny. You could even call it cute, what Shuli did. If you want to characterize it as anything, you could accuse him of being cute. And John goes, "Your son is my bitch." That's a bit of escalation.
Wow, John really wants to enslave some Jews, huh? That's really anti-Semitic of him.
Now see what they do. See what they do. They manipulate. They call me a slave owner of Jews.
I couldn't find the bacon.
I'm gonna make Shuli's dad build me a pyramid.
I started to go, "Where is the bacon? I'm trying to find the bacon. Where, sir, is the bacon?
We're not allowed to eat bacon. Is this kosher?" Oh. And again, I'm not doing a Jew.
Just the most famous comedic Jew.
Seem to find the bacon. And as soon as I get into a riff like that, I can't get it out of my head.
Unstoppable.
I'm walking around.
Once John gets going, look out.
Sarcastic comment loading.
He's going to do this completely nonsensical Jerry Seinfeld impression for some reason. That came, by the way, if you're like, "Oh, these guys stepped on the clip." They always do that. I hate when they do that. We do always do that, but not this time. John just out of nowhere starts, "Who are these people? Why is there no bacon?" He's like, "I just get crazy in the grocery store. I do these bits."
Yeah, someone was like, "Hey, John, you can't do that voice for Shuli's dad." Okay. Where is my son?
All right, let me do Judd Hirsch in Independence Day.
Supermarket going, "Where is the bacon? Why can't I find the bacon?"
Fine, I won't do Shuli's dad. Here's my Netanyahu impression. He's like Kanye West.
Turn Gaza into glass.
Shuli's dad is a net in Yuhu.
And then
from the river to the sea. That's just my Shuli's dad impression.
That people are accusing Ava of striking.
I thought he was gonna say being a man.
It was an open and shut case.
Dookie. Now let me tell you something, folks. First of all, when I do a strike, I do a strike. And Clay, I'll bring you on in 2 seconds. When I do a strike, I will do a strike.
He's kind of Trumpian. I know people pointed that out before, but like, when I do a strike, it's going to be one of the best strikes you've ever seen. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, "Now, wow, no, that's a strike." I guess I've never seen a strike before that good.
I'm gonna be the U.S. military. Your YouTube channel is gonna be Venezuela.
I gotta be honest. Schulz's son killed him, and it's because of John derangement syndrome. He was asking for it.
Credit
and Tim Waltz is retarded.
A strike that I do. Am I the one striking shit where? Yes.
Oh.
Did I strike Tukey? No.
Oh.
I was on the air. Now, I'll tell you.
I got to be honest. You can do several things while live. And
No. Plausible deniability. All right, John. Fine. You were on the air.
Who I did strike. The potato. You piece of shit.
Now, hold on a second here. Go back.
Wasn't Cardiff just on his show?
The last we checked it. This is again where I'm going to need you guys to fill in some blanks for me here. I think I missed something. The last time, or one of the last times we talked about John, Cardiff was on here, and they had a lovely exchange.
Yes.
Cardiff apologized to John. It was very nice. Now, that makes me wonder if this is all performative.
I think so.
No.
Oh.
I was on the air.
It's not.
Now, I'll tell you who I did strike. The potato. You piece of shit.
It is very funny seeing this guy get that mad at someone who is a potato.
And calling him the potato.
Yes.
You piece of shit. He's getting so... He's fucking riled up. His phlegm is flying.
I'm suing the potato.
Piece of shit. And the man he was ranting about before that was a puppet, by the way.
You're a piece of garbage. And don't...
I apologize, by the way, for the bleeps. Some of the clippers do that for monetization. I gotta say, is YouTube that much of a stickler about curses anymore?
I think first 10 minutes still applies.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, so that's why they do. When John deletes all his episodes. So I used to be able to go back and pull clips from John's episodes, but now we rely on these clippers. So thank you, Stalin19, I assume, had this one.
I don't remember. Stalin 19, Doom, all the greats.
Thank you to all the boys for clipping John, because it's the only way we get them. So if we have to suffer through curses being bleeped, so be it.
Try and pretend that you're a decent human being, because you're not. You're a scumbag.
And a potato.
Well, yes, I struck you. And I will take credit when I strike somebody.
He struck Cardiff? Is that new?
Does John still have his Florida house?
That's where he lives now. So
okay.
Exclusively, yeah.
So do you think, like, if it's quiet enough, do you think Carl can hear this from
that's a great question. I don't know if anyone's asked yet.
Like, if you put your window open, can you hear "fuck the potato" like in the distance?
John Carl's in his pool floating.
Boa. Double negative.
Carl's like, damn it, I guess I gotta get back to work. That's the alarm.
Yeah.
Carl's like, I guess I've got work to do.
Oh, something good's happening.
I'll tell you when I strike you. And potato, you keep violating my copyright, I'll strike you down every fucking time.
Oh, he's drooling.
He thinks he's at like war. This does give John a feeling of like importance. Without the Dabbleverse, he doesn't have that.
That was the grossest shit I've ever fucking seen in my goddamn life.
What'd he do?
He was just drooling and then like chewing on it.
What's wrong with that?
It was fucking awful.
What if it was really yummy?
God. That fucking, I don't usually get grossed out by that
Maybe
shit.
I can play it again. I want to see it this time. Let's see if I can see it.
When I strike somebody, I ain't no pussy boy. Double negative. I ain't a pussy boy. I'll tell you when I strike you. And potato, you keep violating my copyright, I'll strike you down every fucking time.
Oh, God.
What? I couldn't see it again. Damn.
That's fucking nasty.
Well, listen, he's very worked up. He's very upset.
CJM says his drool is 12% ABV.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's heavy. Even for my guys at Treehouse, that's a little heavy.
Oh, that was fucking nasty.
But someone's got to tell me now, why is he mad? Why is he striking the potato again?
Because he probably made fun of him once.
Oh, all right. Well, then, Cardiff, you had it coming. I'm sorry. Your YouTube channel should be taken away because you've made fun of John.
Next, we have Lady K and Moonhead.
Okay, so this was weird to me. This is where John does this where he's like, do I have a wish ill on these people? Do I have a wish? They really want something bad to happen to me. So Carl went on the creep off with my good friend Vinny Paulino. Vote for Vinny, folks.
Mm-hmm.
He went on the creep off with Vinny, and he talks about this water filtration system he has was stolen out of his house or something. Carl will explain within the clip, I believe. John has never been more giddy. He's so excited that bad is happening to Carl.
So there's so much to unravel here, but again, let me just say I am so happy that I was in New York when this happened, because these assholes would definitely accuse me of it.
Probably.
Now, I've never been arrested in
Hold on, Craig. You're about to see something. Tell me if you find this to be a real accusation. This is again where John manipulates things, where he gets very angry, and he's going to recite this over and over again. John is gearing himself up for Carl and Vinny to launch the investigation of John Melendez, who robbed Carl's house.
This is mentally draining.
It really is.
There's one thing, I would never go to anybody's house and stick things on their door and vandalize somebody's house.
That's big of you.
Nor would I ever.
Is he about to say the exact crime that only the cops would know?
I would never use Carl's security code, which is as follows.
It's like classic movie where it's like, how did you know that?
I would never drive by and case the place to find out where the cameras are and try and trip them so I can get in when I know that Carl is in Rochester. I wouldn't do that.
Anything. Ever. That's a fact, Jack. But I can just see these idiots blaming me. And I'm going to myself, okay, how soon did it take them to blame me? And if you look
again, when we're talking about manipulation of language, blame is such an interesting word. Mm-hmm. Let's see if these guys blame him for this thievery.
How quickly Moonhead blames me. Okay, look how quick it takes, all right? Look how quick. Look how quickly. You ready?
We got a call last week that says, hey, your RO system? It's gone.
One more time.
Someone stole it.
Oh, check John's house.
Check John's house. 1 minute and 3 seconds.
How does he...
Right?
How does he take that seriously?
Right.
What a fucking loser.
It's just a thing we know that you guys live a mile from each other. If it was anyone, by the way, if Carl notoriously lived next to Vince the lawyer, whoever.
If Carl left a case of Mick Ultras outside and they went missing, I would assume John.
Right. But again, that would be if he left a case of Mick Ultras out, they went missing. Vinny would go, oh, check John's house.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Vinny actually believes that John...
Sorry, John, we don't think you're smart enough to rob a water filtration system and know how to move it.
Yeah, I don't know much. I don't know what an RO system is, but apparently it's missing. And Vinny jokingly said, oh, maybe it's the guy that lives a mile from you that we all know. Now, I got to tell you, John gives people lessons on comedy. I'll give you one. If Vinny found out the perpetrator, named him, and said, oh, it's probably him, that wouldn't be as good a joke because most likely none of us know who the fucking guy is. You know? It wouldn't make any sense if Vinny named the guy who actually stole it. So the bit is, maybe it's the guy we all know that we all have a point of reference for that hates Carl and lives next door to him because apparently this is a sitcom.
Don't worry, guys.
Carl and John are living in.
Shuli's the one that content farms, guys.
Yeah, right.
As soon as he hears about it, it takes him literally 5 seconds. 5 seconds to the time he hears about it to where he says, check John's house. And again,
and I just happened to get a new water filtration system.
Don't think anything of it.
It's an RO system.
But John is acting like he was raided by the FBI after this comment. Like Vinny goes, "Oh, check John's house," and then John is swatted. people rush his home, and they're like, "Mr. Melendez, where's your water filtration?"
It's very convenient timing, but I was in Rochester.
You guys, this might sound a little fishy, but I just got an RO system put in.
And guess what? It's awesome. Lady K should get one.
I'll tell him the model that I got, and he can go buy it.
This is the kind of nonsense that all of these assholes like to do about me.
What jokes?
And it continues.
What? Vinny told it. Oh, what a piece of shit. Vinny's worst crime is it was kind of an obvious joke, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was almost too hard to be like, oh, check John's house just because he lives down there. Like that, if you want to nitpick it, that might be the most egregious thing that Vinny is guilty of.
Thank God I was in New York. And you know,
thank God I was in New York.
I was looking at 25 to life.
Thank God I was in New York, or who knows how deep this investigation could have run if I didn't have an ironclad alibi like that.
As obvious as that joke was that Vinny made, it was still funny, but this is obviously a cover-up. John definitely took it.
Well, now it went from a joke to like, did John steal the fucking RO system? Why is he so defensive about this?
The only thing that's different now is I could drink my tap water. Like nothing else happened.
Not since Rafael Palmeiro has someone waved their finger like this in such indignation.
I didn't take the RO system, period.
Never.
Period.
Anybody would say it was me. Come on. Everyone would blame me.
No one would blame you, John. That's the thing you're not getting about any of this. No one thinks you stole the fucking RO system.
John, no one blames you for stealing the RO system. We understand how awesome it is and now how better your house is because of it.
Hey, John, nicely done. Drink up, buddy. Have a glass on Carl.
There's no more lead in my water.
This is what John doesn't understand. Do you know the joy? If John successfully stole something out of Carl's house and it ruined Carl's day, do you understand that me, Vinny, all these people would be elated?
I know.
It'd be fun to make fun of Carl, and Carl would have a laugh at it. That's the crazy thing is like if Carl's telling this story of a theft in his home, and he can't stop laughing through it.
Is a bitch. Okay, Snaggletooth. And you found
now Vinny's joke is Carl's fault.
You did this. You unleashed humor on the Rochester.
Right after you did a bullshit show, which was all bullshit. Which is all bullshit. But again, this is karma.
Yeah.
Why was John in Rochester?
What do you mean?
Is that where he lives?
Oh no! Rochester is where Carl and Vinny live.
No, I know that, but did John say that's where he was, or did he?
No, he's in New York. He was in New York, not Rochester, though. Well, I guess we don't know that. We should look into it.
He was scoping out Carl's house to make sure he didn't get it clued off that he stole the water system.
He was at his mother's house on Long Island, I believe.
All of this is karma. This is what happens when you're a complete asshole. You keep on.
You get no water.
You know what? The only thing that's good is my house basically produces glacier water now.
Another frosty beverage.
He is drinking out of a bottled water right now. It's just a koi, like a decoy.
I filled this myself. Poland Springs is shit compared to what I got going.
I've used this bottle for the last 4 weeks.
I've never had cleaner water.
So I'm telling you, the universe takes care of it. It does. And Like, it's amazing. I said to Lady K, I said, why did you buy a house on a block that's, I'm not going to dox where he is, but that's
give me 3 shows and you'll know.
Here we go.
on a main road.
Let's see how close I can tiptoe to it.
If you go to this neighborhood, you find the yard that's flooding because the water system got pulled out of the wall.
And their zoning is they can build stores and gas stations, and he didn't care. He didn't.
By the way, John and Carl started talking about this after Carl built the house. So let me break down what's happening here. Carl bought a house in Florida. And I don't know, weeks or months later, Carl and John talked, and John was like, "Oh, you bought a house in Florida. I bought a house in Florida. Where's yours?" And Carl told him, and John goes, That's not the neighborhood you should have bought in." It's like, okay, well, I did. I was at a wedding last summer, and I told my buddy's dad the town I'm moving to, and he goes, "Oh, you don't want to move there?" And I go, "Well, I already built the house, so really nothing I can do about it."
What's he saying is wrong with that town?
But my buddy told me he mistook it for real liberal town.
Oh,
because I asked, I was like, "Why would he say that?" And my buddy was like, "Oh, he thought it was run by the libs."
I mean, because I've been there, and it is a lovely place,
and I would say quite the opposite.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Well, now they're building a f***ing gas station, car wash on his block. He didn't want to listen to the Duke. First of all,
how could he have?
Reverse.
On second thought, I unbuy it.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe that Florida is installing a fucking car wash. There's one on every block.
I'm sure it's a fine street. It has nothing to do. There being a car wash has nothing to do with why Carl was robbed. I'm sure.
Well, they needed the water for the car cleaning.
Oh, does anyone on the street have water? Perfect.
This is an anonymous call to the fucking car wash.
If you're looking to make your water cleaner.
Osmosis system. You didn't need. It's 10 grand. And when he told me he did that, I'm just like,
yeah. So honestly, him saying that, knowing how much it costs, makes me think it's definitely him that took it.
And he showed me right where in the basement that it was.
So someone broke into his house to take it? It wasn't like something from the outside?
You know, I don't know. I don't know enough about RO systems. So that makes a lot more sense that it was outside. You might be right.
John's like, it was definitely inside.
John's scurrying away.
I got to see the security camera footage of this fucking load running away.
Again, let's say they knew for a fact it was a blind guy that robbed Carl. The immediate joke would be, "Oh, was it Mike?" You know what I mean? And I can't imagine going on a crusade. "Vinny, how dare you? I got the police knocking down my door now."
mistake number, how many? I mean, another mistake. Who's stepping on the rake here? And because you don't need a reverse osmosis water system.
I need
What are you bitching about?
This water system.
You don't even need it.
You don't need it. I need it.
On Carl's side of town, they don't even need RO systems. It's doing much more good in wherever it is.
Now, contrary to the dwarf, the Duke didn't do any reverse osmosis water system. Nah. You don't need it. And if you would have
Isn't it so funny to be in a place in life where you're arguing, you're like, "I got the best water in Florida." My water. John is in a place where he's like, "Lady K, you've done it again. Right into my trap."
You know what's more damning to John is him trying to explain that he didn't do it than Vinny making it.
I know, right? But just being in a place in life where you're like, Carl, my water is so much better than yours. You have no idea.
I got this new system recently.
His water company, they would have told them that you don't need it. Now, granted, it's 10 grand, so it would be the best one, but I'm not going to tell you what I did.
I did. I'm not going to tell you what I did.
I'm not going to implicate myself in any investigations that seem to be happening.
I did something I guarantee if that dwarf came to my house and drank my water from the faucet, it would taste just like this bottled water. I didn't pay 10 grand.
My water is orgasmic.
It's unbelievable how much water I've been drinking recently.
I've never been more hydrated, which is a coincidence.
Next we have Karma.
This son of a bitch had it coming. I've said Carl has been too hydrated for too long.
That's right.
It's about time the universe steps in.
His skin looks immaculate from all the water he's drinking.
This son of a bitch. Well, his piss is going to be bright yellow now after this.
So here we go. I guess they have some kind of sonic medallion they're blaming this on. No, Lady K, it's not.
I'll explain. God damn it. You familiar with the Sonichu medallion?
No.
It's got something to do with Chris Chan or something. You know?
Oh, yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
Justin told me about it.
It's bad luck. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
It's bad luck. So on the creep off, Vinny gifted that to Carl once. Well, the joke being Carl's going to have all sorts of bad luck. So now anytime something bad happens to Carl, he's like, this Sonichu medallion was there. It's a running gag that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And John is like, now they're going to blame me for the Sonic medallion. Whatever the fuck. Like, he doesn't understand anything that's going on, yet he's indignant about it.
Yeah.
Medallion. It's you constantly being an asshole to me and my family. That's what it is, you dumb.
That is why this Robin Hood of Cape Coral overheard Carl being mean to John.
I like the idea of drunk Robin Hood stealing water systems.
Whoever gets made fun of the most.
Who needs this when you got Coors Light?
All you do is hate. Everything's about hate.
I've had a lot of issues lately, like with my house, with the dishwasher breaking and flooding my studio. And
I just like to imagine John's doing all these things now.
And they're all water related. Carl is being flooded.
John goes into like a fucking drain sink in the basement, just turns the water on.
They call me the spigot.
That's the title of the episode.
Oh, feeling a little damp, Lady K?
I like the spigot's got like a Superman outfit, except for an S. It's just a water, like a hose,
a water droplet.
So there you go. Now, that's the first. But here's the first thing. Now, what does he do in that studio all the time? He trashes other people's shows nonstop. His whole
I have cleaned that studio.
is trashing other people. That's all he does.
Oh, you're laying out the karma aspect of this.
Yes. Okay. So his studio gets over. Now, I don't know, Alva. I don't know if you're into the universe, but could it be maybe it's because he's a asshole to everybody?
I think even if you like Carl,
that's probably why.
Who has it come?
It's definitely why his dishwasher exploded.
He's got a cape that's just always dripping.
Carl steps in a puddle, and you just see someone runs away behind a tree. Was that you, Spigot? I know about you. It's perfectly dry out here, except for this puddle.
Yeah, the spigot needs to destroy anyone with the Sonichu medallion.
Like, who's gonna like not secretly be like, oh, that's funny. Anytime anything bad happens to him, like, who has it coming more than that smug douchebag?
Between him and Shitway.
John's kryptonite is soap.
I thought
the water.
I thought these people were supposed to be nice.
Who are these people, Craig?
Not John.
Okay. I suspected.
Yeah. It's like, and I don't, applaud vandalism of any kind. And I would never, and thank God, because watch who Moonhead is going to blame immediately.
I don't applaud vandalism. Is such a funny sentence to have to say.
I like the idea though, if John's got like water balloons in his pocket and he throws one at the ground and it explodes and he disappears.
And he's off again.
I can walk on water.
I'm not one of these guys, these sympathetic these vandalism sympathizers. John's like, I don't applaud vandalism like a lot of these people.
He would definitely have like a cover like Clark Kent, just puts on glasses and like, don't it's me.
It's not me. Damn it.
He puts on water goggles.
He's constantly trying to run in those big flippers. Scuba gear.
I don't have like a Batman belt with just like water pistol, water balloon. It's all the cleanest water you've ever seen in your life.
If Lady K has any pool trouble, we'll know who to put a finger at.
Next we have Act of God. This is the last one.
Well, that's clearly what this was. I like the idea that don't be ridiculous. It wasn't my fault. It was him.
Yeah, I'm not like, I'm not wearing a party hat only because I didn't buy any, but I'm not wearing a party hat or anything. It's like, but if you really do think about it, karma's a bitch.
Yep.
These are the assholes that got this young woman to take my phone calls without my knowledge or consent.
Well, this went
have
left.
Events using my likeness and violating my right of publicity. These are these assholes.
An eye for an eye. If Kate Meany records your drunken phone calls, your dishwasher will explode. Just as God intended.
And I just wonder if the universe provides. It's not like I prayed to some God to hurt them. I wouldn't.
Oh, please. If John prays, I don't suspect he's a religious man, but if he does, smiting the dues payer and Lady K is definitely on his list of prayers.
You know how we always used to talk to at the time HACKRIDE about making a Brendan Schaub as Batman cartoon? I need Stuttering John as the Spigot.
The Spigot.
I need a weekly series of him just dumping water into Carl's house.
What's this? Why are all my clothes damp?
His Bat Cave is the new car wash.
I criticized the car wash so no one will suspect it.
I'm asking you viewers, is this an act of God? I'll do my best.
Or was it the Spigot? Who I'm still trying to find, by the way.
I mean, he does have water just leaking out of his mouth.
That's how you know it's John. John's the one most actively trying to expose the Spigot's true identity. No more hiding behind a filter, Spigot.
Let's go.
Good stuff. Was that it?
That was it.
Oh, that was good fun. I gotta be honest. I didn't think we'd make much out of that segment, but
It's my favorite thing we've done.
Boy, did we? You never know the places that John will take you. So thank you, John.
Chris $+$2. He means he's the one who struck him long time ago.
Oh, okay. I like the idea that you make up with someone and you're like, remember when I tormented you? I'll do it again.
Dang Lizard, €5. John's OCD is the worst disability anyone could have. When he sees a black guy, he gets his Daniel Carver impression stuck in his head.
Yo, son.
Dang Lizard, £2. Previously, Stevie Lou got nunchucked and Stuttering John celebrates.
Oh, I don't know that story.
Me either. Chris $+$2. John is the third member. John's the third member of the Wet Bandits. Oh, Stuttering. Okay, I honestly, he would be hilarious in that role because the sounds he would make getting hit with shit.
Oh,
oh fuck.
You see, they want me to get hit with stuff.
I gotta step on Legos, but I get a lot of money. And Filet-O-Fish is a new member.
Thank you, buddy.
That popped up there.
Thank you to all of those who's become members or just support the show for free. We appreciate you guys doing that. If you're watching live on YouTube, which you can do every Sunday at 10 a.m., like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate you guys supporting the show every week. And it helps more people find the show when you do that stuff. When you like, subscribe, and comment, share it. All that helps more people find the show. And now do the same on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll watch it on Spotify when we're worthy. When Spotify deems us worthy.
That's right.
We will get on that. But for now, you will listen to us and you'll like it. But blindmike.net is where you get all those links. Become a member or just support the show for free. All of it helps. We appreciate you guys doing that all year. And by the way, I totally forgot. Happy 5-year anniversary, buddy.
Oh, yeah, shit. Better late than never.
We've been doing the show for 5 years, and Craig has been with me every step of the way. So thank you, pal. Thank you for sticking around all this time.
Not going anywhere.
And thanks to those of you who have subscribed for any amount of time there. And we appreciate you guys. Blindmike.net. Pop into Very Good Show every once in a while. Verygoodshow.org. See what's stirring around there.
See if anything's going on. And if you see anything, let me know.
Yeah, they shouldn't be there. Have you seen anything? Oh, it's all wet in here. And HackRideStudios.com. Support DJ ELECTRA and the great Casey Day, the backbone of this show, Casey Day. He's focused on the Ducks right now, but we'll get him back in a week or two,
That's right. College football's almost done.
But go support HackRideStudios.com. Thank them for all that they do for this show. And Craig as well. And thank you to all you guys. And we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.
And we have a mean transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Steppers through the way, everyone up.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Put it in the outro. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
there's no cum on my mic.
Rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it.
One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it.
Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike.
All right. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.
Put it in the outro.